Do, 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 do. Boom. Boom. Oh, screen's black. My bad, guys. Hey, small boy, you are here so fucking fast. I have no idea. Everyone else says they don't get notifications, and you're here like literally the second the stream starts, no matter what time I start. An OG for sure. Alright. Boom. Okay. Sweet. Looks good on Twitch. Hey guys. Hello everyone. Hey fishy boy. Welcome back. Hey Mateo. Wait, hold on. Let me peek. Yeah, okay, good. Alright. I can't close my, I can't close Photoshop. I need to reinstall Photoshop because I have a... I have a legal version of Photoshop for sure, and it has been taking like 4 minutes to even show the little loading screen after I click the icon in my tray. So it just like, it's so annoying if I'm like, okay, I'm ready to make a thumbnail. It's like 5 minutes before I can start making it. RBDs is definitely the most giga broken character. Maybe it's because you engage with every single time I go live, and like YouTube knows that small boy, and so it's like, all right, you desire. I definitely noticed because I have a I have a sock puppet account, and I comment on my own videos, and you'll never know who it is. You'll have to go through all the comments and see if you can identify me. But that's just so I can make certain that like my videos are getting prio, and I can tell the difference between when I've been clicking on my own videos only for like the week and if I've been watching other stuff, because it'll put other stuff ahead of my videos. But if like you've been mainly consuming my content, it'll throw you right at the top of the page. Oh yeah. Well, we have a good number of Xeno losses, so let me put those over here. We got Xeno, and 2 others. We'll wrap up with the Xeno ones. Someone was commenting on my video about my about my what's in my sidebar. I said, well, what's wrong with my sidebar? Okay, very balanced. Watching diet over here. Actually, I don't know what the fuck this is. American Redact. Not interested. I'm only interested in Dan Henschel. Are there any difficulty? What's like making it with your own clone? Oh, okay, right. What I was saying, I watch my own. Well, it's the only way I can make certain that, like, that was my original YouTube account, right? It's the only way I can make certain that, like, the video is like getting uploaded fine. Daniel's quite amazing. Listen, you guys thought I had unparalleled yap ability and being able to talk about like this game and nothing in this game for like 30 minutes. He can do like a 2-hour video and literally say nothing. And I watched the whole thing. So his like his content creation game on point, and he's so creative. So creative. Oh, thank you, Svensky. The best in the biz of how many people are making content for this game exactly. Out of maybe 3? That's right, yeah. He tells stories in his car and oftentimes is just an unhinged lunatic. I tased a patient. Was I wrong? Like, he just there was an arc where he was pretending to be the worst person ever, and it was like pretty good. And then he did the arc where he was painting himself a different color for every video, and where he shaved his eyebrows and stuff. And that was probably my favorite because like he was so disturbing. What else is down here? Abasoft. Okay, that's a good one. This was I watched this video though. This one. Boring. Sorry, Abasoft. I mean, it's only 14 minutes long, but like, you know, how is someone gonna cheat in Catan? Oh, guess what? They had someone else feeding them trades. Whoop-de-doo. What's the pistol RB build, Shady? Is that what you're talking about? The pistole. That's pretty fun. That is fun. I need to make some more builds. I need to get back into the game. I've just been so busy lately. Working at PETA turned me on. Guys, I'm officially... I've got my arms all spread wide like I'm the fucking greatest of all time. I officially made it to Twitch affiliate. I got 25 whole followers. And I streamed for 3 days, which means I will take your money now. You can use your Twitch Primes on me. You can subscribe to my channel. Actually, I don't think I set up any subscriptions. But it exists as a concept. Hey, what's up, Penavino? You probably can't. I haven't set up anything yet, Shady. It's like a whole... You know, they make you submit all your tax shit and all that stuff. It's okay. There's literally 2 people watching on Twitch stream. I'll be able to do the Darktide drops for the next thing though, which is pretty exciting because I mean, I guess it's happened now, so I can talk about the last what's it called? Like early access that the Creator Club got access to. We actually got access on the 11th of June. Remember, it came out on the 23rd. So, and then like we could only start sharing the stuff on the 19th. So there was like 8 full days there where we got it early. And we were told about like, you know, what the beat was and stuff before that. So perhaps when they come back, they'll let us know, like, okay, the next update, early access thing, maybe, you know, I'll probably know about it, like, early September. That'll be cool. To the warehouse with you. Make certain that you are clocking out for your pee breaks in the little, like, closet. Or no, I'm confusing 2 different Amazon stories. I'm confusing the one where, like, there's that little mental health closet that's, like, a tiny shack. Really? You think the final event for Archivum is difficult? Interesting. Interesting, I'll say. I see you find difficulty in interesting places, my friends. No, there's no more holidays till Christmas holiday. Cold one, cracked. Now this is what is this? The Pepsi Cherry and Cream. It's alright. I think I prefer just regular Pepsi Cherry. Yeah, Archivum is really easy and fast. In fact, it's so easy. Yeah, for some reason, it's so easy you can do it in like less than 6 minutes and 30 seconds, I would say. Yes, people were saying that the YouTube stream is like a little bit behind the Twitch stream. I don't know. I think Twitch defaults to like ultra low because it prefers like that. Since it doesn't have as much bitrate, it defaults to ultra low. I have YouTube set to low. I don't know if I could set it to ultra low. It ultimately should make a whole heck of a lot of difference. But YouTube quality is like peak, because I have 20k bitrate over here. So that means you can see all of these pixels, and look, you can track the motions of that mouse. I bet it looks amazing. Yeah, you're in the future. You know that in the next 3 seconds, I've done literally nothing. It can be difficult. I mean, sure, if people were gonna throw. I kind of wanted to put the train, because I only, spoilers, for the thumbnail that I made. Oh, this one. I just made this like 2 seconds ago. I definitely agree with this. I definitely think this is probably true in some regard. But I thought about putting the train over here because I actually only had a couple of the full res screenshots, and one of them was for the train. I was like, I could put the train on there and bait some people by putting train as F tier. Plague Tree most difficult. You are smoking weed. Correct. Yeah, you can't get a train monstrosity. I mean, how would they get that thing on there? That'd be pretty funny, though. Oops, that was the wrong thing to press F11 on. I said 25? What do you mean? We're 26 what? You're gonna watch the YouTube stream muted with the sound of the Twitch stream. Oh, good, good, good. 4 whole people in the Twitch stream. Let's go! It's okay. I think my cap, I think the most I've ever had at one time on the Twitch stream was like 13. But Twitch is so like top heavy, you know what I mean? Like people that want to watch Darktide, all like 7 of them in the world, they click onto the category and then they just click on whoever the highest viewed person is. And there's like a couple of people that are literally always streaming on Darktide. The new type guy and the plays guy. They're like on at least 10 hours a day. It's absurd. No, I'm not gonna put the Mortis stuff on here. I thought about, so those also, like Mortis Trials is also considered a map under the game's definition, and so is Orthos Offensive. But since they're not havocable, I don't think so. Yeah, to be able to play and stream, listen, if I had the ability to play and stream this game for 10 hours a day and make content on it, I wouldn't. I would play other games for that 10 hours a day. I couldn't possibly play 10 hours of Darktide a day. That's too much content, right? That's too much. That's putting too many eggs in one basket. I could play 3 hours of Darktide, record all those as videos, make some content out of it, and then I could go play other games and maybe make those into videos, or just actually enjoy myself. Yeah, like Killing Floor. Difficulty tier list? I think Heresy is probably, what's S tier? Like, I guess the higher stuff would be harder. Heresy's the hardest difficulty, I'm pretty certain. No, you can't Havoc the train, but I meant like real maps. I wanted to put the train on here for, you know, just to round it out. It depends. Are you playing Havoc or are you playing standard versions of the game, Supa? I've been playing Risk of Rain, and that's about all I've had time for in there recently. Oh, well, that's awesome, Shady. Listen, I think that over time, I will become popular on Twitch. Hi, new Twitch viewers. It's Mr. E here. I'm very conceited sometimes. But, because I actually, like, you know, interact, and I like to think I have interesting content. But it does take a while to build, like, a following. So I'm actually, spoilers, I'm actually ranking it by 2 different qualifications today. So we're actually doing 2 tier lists. But here's the other one, but I don't want to spoil it yet. So we're going to do ease of playing, but there is another factor that I'll be considering, and I would rank Archive and Sticker X S tier on that one. Never liked the Forge. This one? Refinery, or smelter complex. What's this one is in an area with what's it called? Power Matrix, isn't it? Hey, Dread. Uh-oh. It's Bernie. That's Bernie, guys. Dude, I'm not kidding when I say Heresy would actually be in like top tiers for difficulty. Heresy is just like, it's death for newer players. Like, it's seriously, when I was doing like really early on when I was playing this game and I was trying to grind penances and I needed to get the penance for reviving people, I would just go play on Heresy because people are getting down left, right, and fucking center on Heresy. They do not know what the hell they're getting into. Sedition doesn't have... Just ranking them by the first letter. There's an M tier difficulty. That's Malice. Yeah, Heresy has a teammate difficulty. Or teammate difficulty modifier. Yeah, for sure. Yep, that's a great reason to hate all of the sand maps, personally. Fuck sand maps. They get everywhere, and they are annoying. Auric is A tier, yep. Havoc, H tier. Wait, what are the difficulties? It's Uprising, Malice, Heresy, Damnation, and Auric, and Havoc. Okay. So, well, it's UMHDAH. Yeah, I'm Anakin. That's the joke. Is there a word I can make out of that? Muhad. Muhad. Or damn. Wait, oh come on, like is that like, you talking about this one, right? Relay Station? I used to think this one was easy. Playing with other people has rid me of that opinion. Alright, folk. Well, we got what, 60 people in here, 8 people over on Twitch. Go check out the Twitch stream, by the way, guys, and follow over there. Get us up to, I don't know, what should my next goal be? Followers over there, I don't know what's the limit where you have to be to get a Twitch partnership, and what do I get out of a Twitch partnership? Maybe Twitch partnerships are only for like real elites, like I don't know who the fuck is a big Twitch streamer. Partnership requirements. Oh, maintaining an average of 75 viewers. Okay, guys, I need 75 viewers on Twitch. Let's go. Let's go. Good luck with that. Mr. Twitchy, damn, that would be pretty good. Twitchy. Fuck. That would have been better than what I chose. Mr. ENYT. Yeah, just a bunch of bot accounts. Just open up a million tabs and watch myself. I guarantee there's people that do that. I wonder if there's a way that it can tell. Oh, I can still change it. That's true. Yeah, okay. Okay, well, I'll change it, guys. Mr. ENYT's a bad name, personally. So, I'll figure it out. Don't make you go to Twitch. You were sentenced to the Twitch mines. Okay? Your sentence is 6 hours of watching Shroud. I don't know who the fuck streams over there. Hassad Parker. Yes, of course, Mr. E was taken. But I'm certain by someone who does not stream, who probably created their account, realized they were wildly unpopular, deleted their account. Fucking bullshit. There should be a, like, petition you can file to, like, you know, clear space. Be like, hey, listen, I'm a big deal. Make the fucking way. Yeah, good. Yes, your sentence is 6 hours of watching QXC. Or sorry, XQC, my bad. QXC is a different thing. Alright, sloppers. Let's do this thing. How's the music level versus my voice? Because I am just going to record this live. I am a Darktide, guys, yeah. Excuse me, I'm a Darktide streamer. You know those, you can't hear it? What about now? Can you hear it now? Like, it should be a little bit... This song is real quiet. I'll bump it a little. You know those, like, mobile game ads where it's, like, clearly, like, a bunch of, like, white people, but they're, like, they're speaking Chinese or whatever, and it's got them dubbed over, and it's like, excuse me, you can't come in the club unless you have 5 million power. And he's like, oh man. And then he comes back the next day, he's like, I have 20 million power and an SSR ranked Helena Tolostov. And he's like, how did you get so powerful? It's just that, but with Darktide. Excuse me, I'm a whip out my cell phone. I'm a Darktide streamer. You know what I should do? Is I should pull up the other Twitch streamers and put that on my YouTube stream and just react live to it. Oh shit, that would actually be pretty good, honestly. That's how I could get my fail comps. I could go pull up other people's streams and just watch. Unfortunately, I'm pretty certain I would get in trouble for doing a Darktide YouTuber tier list. I think that would be too toxic. I think we all know at least one F-tier Darktide YouTuber. Think of them in the back of your head, guys. Oh yeah, you need an ADHD corner in this. Guys, don't worry. There's gonna be enough screen flip-flopping for you. A certain... One of the best okay, don't let my man hear you say that. One of the best Darktide YouTubers makes mostly Space Marine videos. Hold on, I'm screenshotting that. And I'm gonna send that to him on Discord. You're talking about my employee there. That's First Tour Guardsman. He is actually a subsidiary to my channel. His channel is a subsidiary to Mr. E Incorporated. Not in any real functional way, but in the way that he calls me boss, and sometimes dad, and sometimes best friend. Which just reminded me I have not checked my messages today, so he might have talked to me and I ignored the fuck out of him. Whoops. Oh, he definitely did. Whoops. Beautiful. Alright, guys. Mr. E, the 2. Have I fed FTG yet? I don't know what that man eats. That man eats making videos is the only thing he makes. Hey, 150 followers on Twitch. And we broke our all-time Twitch viewership record, guys. We have made... Oh, fuck, never mind. We went down to 13 again. We were at 14. We went down to 13. Okay. We're tied with our all-time viewership record. Well, now, fuck. Now, fuck, the record is 14. So we're below the record. So shit. Never mind. It's fucking ruined. Yeah, no, seriously, hold on. We gotta bring up our subsidiary channel on the stream and check out his productivity for the day. Oh wait, it would be over here. Hold on. I'm certain he's in this sidebar somewhere. He's made at least one. Oh, this was a good video. Wait, is Tanner Lindbergh really live playing Killing Floor? This game sucks.
Like, bro, fuck off. I can tell that the people that designed this game, oh my god, that almost has
This game sucks ass. Look at this. This is the LMG. It has 50 bullets in the magazine. Oh my god. At least this level's a lot less boring looking than the ones he was playing the other day. Alright, I gotta find, where's my subscription bar? Huh? Is it? Oh, there it is. How many videos has he made today? We want to check it out. One day. Look at this productivity. Holy shit. Within the last 24 hours, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 videos. That's some serious, He didn't leave. No, he hates this game. He left Darktide because you guys hate him. Not all of you guys, but a good portion thereof that just cannot. Three shells. What, to wipe his butt? Alright, guys. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Let me... That's right, yeah. Not 0.9% profit goes to me. I will say that, First Regardsman has given me $20 on stream one time. That was like maybe our first interaction. He thought our first interaction was like playing in a game together one time, but I was like, no, man. You gave me $20 to buy a fucking cosmetic. You said you look poor on your Ogren, and you gave me $20 and I bought a cosmetic. That was way back when. That was before Havoc. If Jefficus did that, he'd be golden. But that is antithetical to the Jefficus, like, production pipeline. As FTG and I like to say, Jefficus doesn't have the homelessness inspiration. Like, Jefficus, I believe, is like, he has a very well-paying job, I believe. I think he's like in finance or something like that, and I think maybe his like partner is as well. So he has like no incentive. He doesn't have that fire lit under him. So he just makes videos when he feels like it. I make videos because I have mouths to feed. I have a bunch of little peeping baby bird mouths that are like, slap us, slap, please. And I can't not, right? It would be sad to watch you guys all shrivel up and die. Jefficus makes videos because he likes editing and being productive and stuff. And FTG makes videos because he's on the fucking grind set. He says he's going to, and I quote, when Space Marine 3 comes out, build an Emperor's New Groove water slide full of money. That's right, I also have to feed the mini schnauzer. But my members compensate for his losses. My members are doing good in that front. yeah, the one I've been playing recently, Face Disabler, where you just left click spam, the one that was in the shield video. The best way to farm curios is just to buy them every hour from the shop when they rotate. Just watch your shop. Mr. E drop off. Okay, everybody, let's get going. Let's get going. I've milked this for long enough. So we are here today with the very simple goal of ranking all of the maps in the game. Let's count how many we got. Essentially, honestly, more than I thought there was. No, this is 21 maps, and one of them is the train mission, right? So this is my YouTube voice that you're currently listening to. I gotta turn it on for the YouTube video. But these missions here, they are not all created equally. They're actually going to be ranked by 2 different ranking systems. So you're getting actually 2 tier lists worth of value in this video. I hope you are pleasantly surprised. Let's go ahead and go over the first tier list. We'll be ranking all of these on here, and I can't actually full screen it because then I can't tab to the other one. But our first tier list is for difficulty, right? The highest difficulty, the best difficulty is easy. So, and in the red up here, Archivum Sycorax, baby, is Archivum Sycorax difficulty. Really, really easy mission. Middle event either doesn't exist or is something that is incredibly tame. And then the ending event is really easy. And then it's a short mission, usually, is what defines these. Small rooms, nice tight corners, lots of places to like take hordes and stuff. Very limited number of challenging rooms that can actually kill you. And we are going to be going over the challenging rooms. So I hope you brought your mental goggles or whatever, your mental screens. Maybe if I really give a lot of a shit, I'll try and record some of these places in the maps, and I'll put it in the ADHD corner when I like put this on YouTube. Then we got at least half of it is easy. You know, these are the maps where the middle event might be nothing, but the end event is kind of hard, or vice versa. You've got a good portion of it where it's just like, okay, nothing spawns in this part, let's just kind of breeze on through here. I can think of a couple maps off the top of my head where this definitely fits the qualification. Feels balanced. I don't really feel one way or another on feels balanced maps. They're, you know, I tend to have a pretty even win-loss rate. There's no particular room that stands out to me as like, oh my god, this fucking thing. And it's not like overly easy. Couple terrible rooms. There are a good number of maps in here that are made hard solely by having, usually it's like massive rooms where enemy gunners and stuff can see you from 1 quadrillion miles away, and then there's always boss spawns in those rooms, etc., etc. That's what those maps are going to go into. And then fuck you, seriously, this is reserved for just a few maps that really just piss me off when I have to play them. Like, everybody in the Havoc group has them, and they tend to have both really bad rooms, and they're like boring to play, and they're hard to play, and they're long. I'm thinking of one in particular right now. And they're long, and of course they have glitches. I love the ones that have fucking glitches, especially with the summoning rituals. Oh boy, extra points if you are a shitty map and you have glitch summoning rituals that can kill my run, because that makes it super fucking fun. I won't be ranking these difficulty-wise, really focused around Havoc and the rituals thing, because that's just a glitch, but it doesn't make me like these maps any better. It makes me hate them a lot worse. So, let's look at our second tier list, and that is, of course, how fun it is to play these maps. And of course, I'm actually having a good time. That's subbing to Mr. E. I mean, you would have a really good time if you subbed to the channel and continue watching my content. There you go. There's always one of these. I snuck it in here. All right, so I'm actually having a good time. There's a couple of maps in this game where, like, okay, cool set pieces, cool like engagements and arenas to fight the engagements in. There's like actually like cool level progression, and you've got challenging but fun ending events or middle events or whatever. It's not like super common, but there's a good amount of maps that I do think fall into this category, and it's not a one-to-one overlap with being easy. I don't think Archivum Sycorax, spoilers, is going to go into the I'm actually having a good time tier, because I think it's just a little bit too boring. There is one cool set piece, is the next one down. There, you know, this is the map that you actually like playing because it's got this one arena, this one portion of it that everything kind of clicks together. Maybe it's got some good firing lines, and that's where you pop off with your plasma gun or your rumbler, or you just really like fighting bosses in this one area because you can like knock them off a ledge or something like that. If you're waiting for your moment to shine on a certain map because it's just got this cool spot that you enjoy playing and defeating the enemies in, that's what this is for. It's a map. It is just the middle of the road. Ones I don't feel one way or the other about. Okay, this is annoying. Is these maps are torturous in some respect. They have usually just like a really shitty event somewhere in here that just takes forever and you just want it to be over. And then finally, is there anything else available? The ones where when someone has this as their Havoc mission and you're just like, please, can we just anything else? Anything else? Because it's just like way boring, not fun, events suck. There's not too many that fit into this category, but we'll try to justify those when they come. And that's all of the rankings. So I'm gonna flip back and forth. I don't know why they're not in the same order as they are over here. Okay, does that fix it? Jesus Christ. Okay, they're out of order, guys. So we're gonna have to look for them. And yeah, like the stream and like the Twitch stream, follow the Twitch stream, all that stuff. And yeah, cool. All right, let's get underway. The first one we're going to tackle here is Relay Station TRS 150. This is a sand map, and so that you guys get a mental image of the map that I'm talking about, when I'm describing these maps, I'm going to describe the general aesthetic as well as the mid event and the end event. So this is one of the sand maps, and the middle event on this one is a large open sand-filled arena. You have to collect 3 batteries and put them in a center little power thing, and then press 2 buttons to open that giant fan blade. The end event is hacking. It's killing a bunch of like, you're climbing up a spiral, and you have to kill those little bursty eye things, and then you have to do the thing at the end, and you get out. Okay, so this map, I think that this map is going in the feels balanced here for me. I think that this map has some very difficult rooms, but it also has some very easy rooms that are a breeze. The ending event is super easy. I don't think I've ever seen a team fail on the ending event in this one, so that's a really positive thing. The mid event, leading up to the mid event, is pretty dang hard. That's what I'll say. So this is a very short map, which is bringing it up because it does have a hard early game where you are getting through that open sandy area, and then there's usually a lot of bosses. You have to get into that first airlock, and it's kind of difficult getting there. And then that big arena, which we talked about having to put the batteries in, that can be really tricky for a lot of teams. So having a bubble or something there, or a chorus or something to keep the range damage off you is really essential. And if you don't have that, that can be tricky. And then the last hard room on this map is the room right after. So you'll go down a drop down, and then that room is really big. That's one of the hardest parts of any of these sand map tile sets, is that next big room with like all the favela, like little rust huts that are climbing up the cliff, and you have to go up that cliff to the top, right? That area is pretty dang difficult. But after that, it clears up, and it's pretty easy. And overall, it's a very short mission. I mean, it's literally like 6 rooms or something, and they're kind of small rooms. So speedrunners can just get right through this thing, no problem. So that's how I feel about it balance-wise. How do I feel about it fun-wise, though? I think this one goes in... Okay, this is annoying. This map is kind of fucking annoying. The first area isn't half bad, but it does love to spam bosses at you. It just loves to spam the shit out of bosses, especially on Havoc. And then that middle event is really annoying, because that thing, for whatever reason, it's like it'll take all day sometimes. You'll just get a bad situation where there's just pox bombers who are spawning at the top of the map. They're hiding and they're throwing pox gas down. And pox gas, if you didn't know, it makes you drop the it makes you drop the battery, so you can't get the thing in the thing. And then you've got a million gunners, and the gunners are all kind of uphill and in cover from you. Just really, really obnoxious at times. And then the one room after that is also really annoying, because on Havoc, now if you ever play with me on this map on Havoc, I make this call out to my teammate, like, okay, do not touch the fucking ground, because after you drop down over this little ledge, first of all, you have to stand there and pick all the gunners for like 6 hours, because they're all over the rooftops, everything in this huge ass room, and they can see you no matter where you are after you drop down. But the second you drop down, it's going to spawn 2 bosses on your ass, and you do not have a good time in that room. That is a bad room. And then it's an uphill battle from there, literally. But once you're past that, I don't generally have any complaints, but it is really kind of annoying to play through those arenas. That's sort of how I'm defining it there. Okay, let's go on to our second one, which is Mercantile HL7004, aka the one that ends in the Coliseum, which means, let's see, what would the mid-event on this one be? That means the mid-event on this one comes really early, right? Yeah, this one is the one that's the quote-unquote mid-event is literally right off the bat. It is, you drop down, you blow up a wall with the little charge, and then you drop down and you plant the little thing on the computer, and then you go from there. And then you have a long-ass run to the end of the map, and you finally get to the end, and it's the Coliseum holdout thing. So, this map, I think, is... How hard is it? How hard is it? This map feels balanced to me. It feels balanced. I don't know if it has a couple terrible... I'm between here and here, right? I'm between here and here. I think it feels balanced. So you'll know right away on this map whether or not you're going to have a hard time with it, whether it's going to be a fucking slog to endure with the given team that you've found. Because that first map, or that first room, where it's like you drop down in and you have to plant the little thing on the computer, and then you have to hold out in there with all those gunners and stuff shooting at you from all the angles, and there's fire bombs, etc., etc. If you have a team, sorry if it's making noise right now, I'm adjusting my mic. If you have a team that is competent and coherent, that part's a breeze. But if you don't have a team that is playing in coherency, if you don't have a team that can adhere to a plan or has sufficient support abilities to keep each other safe, that part can be torturous. Because right away, you'll notice if anyone is fucking giving a shit, because you'll try to plant a little doohickey on the computer and no one will fucking cover you. You'll get hit like 6 times because it's right in the center of the room. Then finally you'll get it planted, and then everyone's in different corners of the room, just trying to do their own little solo clutch moment, and just getting murdered. And that is a really, really easy room to throw the whole game in. From there, though, there's not much that's super scary in terms of difficulty until you get into that underground area. So there's one sequence of rooms that scares the shit out of me in this map. And there's an outside area. You all might be able to picture what I'm talking about. There's an outside, very large courtyard area that has a airlock and a med station at the end, and then through that airlock you are now underground in like the tunnels. And those 2 rooms together are 90% of my wipes on this map, I feel like. Doesn't help that outside area is like super big and long. Like, it takes forever to clear through that whole thing. But even if you do get through that, you can catch a horde off the back side of that airlock that just ends your game outright. And I've seen it happen. I mean, it's happened to me a good number of times where like you're like, okay, we're all good, we're all fine. Go through that airlock, you come out into the underground area, and there's a spawn door like immediately on your right, and then the twins spawn in, and you're just done because there's not enough space to maneuver and stuff. So this map can be pretty ruthless. I've seen some really good clutches on this map. It's definitely a clutchable map, and the ending event is not all that hard in modern era. It was way worse in Havoc 1.0, because Havoc 1.0 was defined by a bunch of gunner spam and just being able to be just completely like gutted by a million laser fires. But in current Havoc, you can just kind of fight like together somewhere and you'll be okay. And that's just how we feel about Mercantile. As far as the fun factor for Mercantile, I think this map is fun. But I don't know. The ending event is too long as far as fun factor. It just takes forever, right? I think everybody here agrees on that. And I think that when I was talking to Reginald, there's that's actually might be a glitch, because he was saying that a lot of events currently are glitched and they don't spawn the sufficient spawns they should be spawning. Like, they should be spawning in bosses, they should be spawning in captains or whatever, but instead it just locks you into this arena and then gives you a trickle of like normal and some elite enemies for about 5 minutes. And that arena itself is like really guilty of that crime. Is you're just spending all day standing in there doing fucking nothing, and then you get bored and you run out in the open and you die and you throw the whole game right at the end, and that sucks ass. So I'm gonna put this one dead in the center. It's got some really good elements to it, but I don't think that there's like any cool like set pieces that stand out to me as like, oh right, I really like this portion. It just kind of feels like, I don't know. Yeah, it's a map. It's a map. Yeah, that ending event really brings it down a lot for me. If that ending event were way better, and I could see it being really cool, because it's, you know, you're locked into an arena. It's a pretty intense, like tight arena, but it just never really reaches that like crescendo in terms of coolness. So yeah. All right, let's go on to shall we do Chasm Logistratum? Oh boy. Okay. Chasm Logistratum is a fuck you, seriously, map. This is a hard map, and I don't see enough people paying this thing the fucking respect it deserves. You need to put some fucking respect on that name. Chasm Logistratum is one of the most difficult maps in the game, and like, it has almost no easy rooms. There are a series of very difficult rooms. So if you are having trouble envisioning this, Chasm Logistratum, you start out crossing the big bridge. There's a big bridge. You come in through some pipes and you cross this bridge, and then that bridge itself has a fuck ton of spawns. There's like a spawn door on one side, and bosses will spawn, and it's super long. There's a ton of gunners that can see you all the way down the bridge, and if you get a bad seed here, that's just hell. At the end of that, you have to turn a left, and then you have to go straight, and you have to cross another super long room that can have a lot of boss spawns. And this is the room where there's like a little set of stairs on the right that goes up and over, that comes back down and rejoins with the main path. There's a path on the left that no one ever fucking goes in because it's completely open and there's zero cover there and you'll just die. So there's that room, and then you go down the spiral, and then there's the mid event, which is hacking that little thing, and you got to get through that area. That is actually a really tough event. It's super simple. It's super like subdued, but you get the right spawn of enemies. You get a team that like can't hold their ground against the enemies that are coming in, and you're in trouble. And it doesn't even matter that the spawn respawn in that area is really good. Like, you can just pick the guy up right there. Like, those enemies will spawn from the left and right directly on top of you, and they'll spawn in gunners and stuff who will just start shooting immediately, trappers, etc. And it's just hell. From there, you go into the underground, and that is completely hell. There's so many boss spawns down there, and then it just keeps getting worse and worse, right? You get to the end of this map, quote-unquote end of this map, which just goes on forever. You have to go through that underground area where the train tracks are over your head. And that will spawn a boss and a bunch of horde from all directions, because there's like 5 different avenues they can come at you from. And then you gotta drop into the train tunnels, and that's the worst area of the whole fucking game, because that long-ass train tunnel, there's snipers that can see you all the way down the tunnel. It's super uneven, and this is a thing that I'll go on a rant about for this level, or a lot of levels, is these levels with like where the fucking floor is like janky as hell. There's like little step ups and step downs that you're getting caught on all over the place. This area of this mission has like dozens of those, where you'll just get your feet caught on a little lip and you won't be able to dodge or move, and one pox gas bomb covers the entire hallway in this section. And then you got to go into that little lab area at the end that can also kill your run through that choke point, that blasted hole in the wall. And then the ending event with the vacuum capsules and the trains is not much easier either. I've seen tons of games get wiped on that ending event just because they get out in the open, the gunners get to increased number. Yeah, just a super, super hard map all the way through. Seriously, fuck you. Like, it's a map I can do, but damn, like, it's actually legitimately difficult. You need to be tight on your calls, and as someone just said in chat, yeah, the earlier you get the twins on this map, the better. If the twins show up in one of the 2 final areas in this map, you're fucked. The twins showing up in, like, the tunnel area at the end is just, there's already so many boss spawns and stuff in there. It's doom. For fun, though, I think that this map is honestly kind of fun. I do want to rank this one higher. I think... I'm going to put this one up here. There's one cool set piece. I think that this map... I don't know if it fits the one cool set piece title necessarily, but I think this map has a aesthetic to it that I really, really enjoy. I think all of the encounter areas are sufficiently challenging, and maybe it's just because it is such a hard map. This is one of the best ones to feel like you overcame and actually make it to that fucking ending room. I've seen so many goddamn clutches in this map. It's definitely like a map that they put a lot of thought into. Is one of the original maps in the game, right? It's a map that they put a lot of thought into. It makes really good use of the tile sets that it has. With the bridge, the big bridge area, and the ending events in those, like underneath the trains. That train area, now that is a, that area definitely has a vibe, right? When you're in those tunnels and there's those, the trains going on the tracks over your head, and the hallways are all foggy and stuff. There's definitely a vibe that's at play there. And I don't know, I just always kind of enjoy playing through this map, even if it is fuck me real hard. All right, let's return to the sitting position and hit our fourth map, which is Refinery Delta whatever. Fuck you, seriously. I hate this map. I hate most of these sand maps, to be perfectly honest with you. They are stupid hard, and they have huge annoying rooms, and they are shit to look at. I hate looking at these maps. They are ugly. They should not grace my eyes, right? Chasm Landsstratum, hard-ass map. Beautiful. Beautiful map to look at, though. Got lots of, nice, foggy hallways with ambient lighting and stuff. And we got the fucking ray tracing on, guys. So I can tell you empirically, with the way the game is designed, this map, beautiful. This map, ugly shit. And Hourglass, all Hourglass maps are pretty much hell. Yeah, as you said. So Refinery Delta 17, if you're not picturing it in your head, Refinery Delta 17 starts you out in a bunch of fucking sand and bullshit. But the mid-event is a area where you have to... Oh, wow. Hold on, we gotta take a couple steps here, because this map is actually fucking hard as shit. Okay, so Refinery Delta 17, huge-ass open room. Massive open room. Gunners perched up on the top right side. Gunners spread across the whole thing, like 25 Reapers or so. The best way to get through this room is just run through the room. Just full-on sprint through the room. Then you go up an elevator to only drop back down into a different room. And once you drop down into this room... Oh, also at the top of that elevator, good luck, because there's going to be 3 boss spawns and a big-ass horde. And then you drop down into another massive, massive room where there's gunners spread all over the fucking thing. Huge, huge, massive room with a ton of stuff to shoot you. Then you go into, these narrow hallway areas with a med station over the top. And this is one of the hardest parts of this mission, because you have to fight to the end of this hallway, and then you have to go up a little rickety set of stairs, and then up all the way up at the top. That's where the lock is to go into the mid-event. But there's going to be at least 2 or 3 bosses on this little spawn area here, if not the twins in this long-ass hallway. And for whatever reason, so many deaths. in this area. Even though there's a med station right behind you, and there's one ahead of you too. It's really, really difficult. The mid event is also super tough on this map. It's, for whatever reason, it seems to like populate the area where you're not on the map with a bunch of small gunners who then just hide behind shit and they'll pick you down. There's really nowhere to take adequate cover, especially if the pox bombers are on your ass. And getting rid of those stupid eyes. Sometimes those eye things like are super stupid easy, right? Not this map, not this event. Most of the maps in the game, one player can come in and can clear those eyes where you have to kill the 3 little pustules, and then you have to kill the center eye, and you can't get all 3 of them with one player on this because there's so many enemies spawning and getting in your way, and so you're like trying to push around them, and they're spread out so far, so you have to actually coordinate with your team, which, as we all know, is a fucking death sentence to like 95% of groups. And that's when you're getting picked down. The gas bombs are getting thrown on top of you. Big horde waves are spawning in. This is one of those mid events that you're just so ready for it to be over. There is thankfully a med station here, but it's super exposed. You can get killed going for it. And then you got to get out of there and go in the elevator. And then you got to go into another shitty area of the map where there's like that big favela with the downhill slope. And goddamn, like that area, that tile set with all the little rusty, like tin roofed buildings, and it's very, very vertical. It's very, very open. That is a really, really rough tile, and it's on all of these hourglass maps. And this one might be an easier implementation of it than the uphill one in Relay Station, but then you go into the underground area, and that area is fucking tough too. And finally, you end up at the ending event, which is super boring. Fucking boring as hell. We are sitting around all day waiting for these little dudes in the incubation chambers to die as we hack the things. But not only is it boring, but there's enemies coming from all 4 corners of the map, and it seems to exclusively spawn like single las gunners instead of anything actually fucking challenging or fun to fight. And they just shoot you, and there's no hard cover anywhere. There's nowhere to hold out, so you're just getting picked on. If you don't have sufficient ways to like shrug off that damage, I mean, you've seen it on stream a couple of times. You can't get cover sometimes from these little enemies. They'll spawn in, they'll immediately take up a firing position, and they'll plink you down while you're trying to do the hacking thing. And then, of course, there's like barrels like on the ceilings of the underpart, so you'll just get blown up from fucking nowhere. The pox bombers cover half the map. And it takes forever too. It's super long. I'm gonna go ahead and go over to the fun thing, and I'm also gonna put this in the worst tier. This is a very, very unfun map to play. I do not enjoy it at all. It has this is beyond annoying. Every room in this map is annoying as shit, and I really, really don't enjoy playing it. And it's also ugly to boot, so miss me on that one. Hab Draco. Hab Draco is a pretty balanced map. So Hab Draco starts you out on... Well, this one starts you out on the bridge too? It does, right? Yeah. Okay, so this one starts you out on the bridge. So this is a very interesting map. It's a short map. It starts you out on the bridge at the opposite end from our friend Chasm Stratum down here. And you have to walk across the bridge and then drop off the side and then go into the room that's up there. The mid event on this one is hacking the skulls and running around that 3-story area, looking for the little dead dudes in the ground and stuff. The reason this one is balanced is because of this area. That entire midsection of hacking and following the little servo skull around and finding the things is pretty much dead. There's almost nothing seriously scary that can happen there, except you can get a twin spawn on the tail end of it. But honestly, that area is a nice little reset for most runs. The first bridge part is pretty dang hard. Most teams that are gonna have trouble will have trouble in that first bridge part. But once you get to the hacking area, everyone can get through that. Should be no problem there. And then you come out, and we've got to get through one more difficult section, which is kind of like a catwalk area that I mean, if you've watched my stream for any amount of time, I probably killed no less than a dozen people by blowing them off the side with a barrel. And there's always boss spawns here. It's always just a super tight area to fight in. And that's the end of the mission right there. If you can get past that area, and then literally like this next like 100-foot long room, you can get into the final airlock and go to the end of the mission. The problem is getting through that area. But the end mission itself is kind of mid in terms of difficulty. It does have the tree hacking minigame, which sucks. I'm gonna knock it down in terms of fun for that the tree hacking minigame being bad. But it's not that hard unless you just don't have any way for your team to recuperate their toughness and take cover. And if you have someone who's eliminating snipers and threats like that as they're coming in. For whatever reason, this one feels like it's gotten a lot easier recently. I think it's just because Ogryns and RBDs are so strong at just like dunking on the huge hordes of like maulers and stuff that it'll spawn on you there. The ending event does feel kind of like actually hectic and good sometimes though, but the bombers can be really, really toxic here. But yeah, it feels balanced overall. I think it has some really... This one is very polarized. It has some very low moments that are kind of boring, and has some very high moments that are like kind of intense. As far as fun, this one I'm just going to put right in the middle. Where is it? Tree. There it is. This one's just a map. Oh yeah, true, yeah, I have to give this, hold on, we gotta go back and put some respect on this thing's name. It has this ending escape sequence. This is the only map in the game that actually has a legitimate, escape sequence. After you finish the final event, you have to go outside and cross one of 3 rickety bridges that all get blown up, or 2 of them get blown up, and the game can kill you right there. The game will try to murder you in that spot right there, in like this like 40-foot stretch. The game is going to try one last time real fucking hard to kill your ass. It feels intense. It does feel really intense. And a lot of times, like, you'll have to trade a lot of health or even a lot of players to get past this point. And then it's just like 1 or 2 people running for the shuttle, and you have to run all the way up and around. And it can be pretty, pretty hectic. So that ending event does bring it up in terms of fun a little bit. But the tree hacking and then the wandering around that huge warehouse area, I think this is the Hab block area, wandering around that area does kind of bring the intensity down a lot. Like, you don't really feel like you're playing Darktide anymore for that whole like 10-minute segment in the middle. You're just kind of wandering in some hallways and scanning some stuff. So I'm going to lower it down in terms of fun for those rooms, but I'll bump it back up to the middle because I do enjoy the first arena. And I do enjoy the escape sequence. What else do we got? Man, I haven't played Ascension Riser in a really fucking long time. I'm going to give Ascension Riser... Oh, boy. Uh-oh. Is it also fuck you? Seriously? Hold on. Let's think. Okay, so let's talk through it. Let's talk through Ascension Riser. Okay, so Ascension Riser starts you out, and you... have to, what is it? It's on the bridge. You come in from the other end of the bridge through some doors, right? Yeah, that's right. And then you go down the hallway, and then you're in the train tunnel. Okay, so the first event on this map is pretty much right away. It's like 1.5 rooms in, and it's hacking the little things and moving the trains out of the way. That room alone, just that train hacking mid event is already making this at least go into a couple terrible rooms. That train event is super fucking rip. I hate that thing. Getting the batteries into place is going to be your litmus test. Just like with many things, you'll know immediately whether or not your team is going to be able to hack that shit, because if you can't get those batteries in the slots, if no one's fucking defending you for that, good fucking luck surviving the next, like, 20 minutes while these things move out of the way, and there's gunners you can't reach shooting you, and there's no cover. And it just sucks. So you get past that, and there's some big underground, like, sewer areas, this map is very, very long. Like, it's not long because of the amount of different rooms, it's long because every room is fucking massive. and there's a lot of long sight lines. And then, of course, the ending event is like 10 minutes long itself. I'm just going to give this one a couple terrible rooms, actually. I think mostly that train event is really, really bad. I don't think there's a whole lot of rooms outside of that are making me kind of get the steez of like, ew, like I don't want to play this. It's that train event, and then it's just you have forever to go after there. You have a many miles to run, my friend, after you get past that point. So, and then of course the ending event is again 10 minutes long, and it's boring as shit. So that's going to take it down a lot in terms of fun. So let's go ahead and rank it over here in the fun factory. I'm going to go with UGG. Is there anything else available? Right? Yeah. I don't really have fun in the train event. And there's like maybe some redeeming fights to be had in the underground area, in the like train, what would you call it, like subway station area with all the park trains everywhere. But the ending event is among the worst in the game. You have an ending event that doesn't spawn any bosses. It spawns a slow trickle of groaners, and it lasts for like 5 minutes, and then it pauses, and you have to go kill a little eye thing, and then it lasts for another 5 minutes, and you're like, great, can I be done with this yet? And then you extract, and whoop-de-doo. Yeah, so yeah, just not a fun map. I do like the aesthetic of this map, but I'm not ranking them based on aesthetics. I'm ranking it based on fun and difficulty. So sucks to suck. Ascension Riser 31. Going back, or Ascension Riser, yeah, 31, right? Okay. Let's see here. Who do I want to do next? Let's take a. Let's see. Well, let's do Rolling Steel. Let's do Rolling Steel. Rolling Steel is at least half of it is easy. I think that's a fair evaluation. So Rolling Steel is a map where you will either win or you will lose. Wow, what a fucking statement, Mystery. Holy shit, I can't believe that just came out of my fucking mouth. That was the stupidest thing I've said today, and that's clearing a high bar. Okay, so Rolling Steel is a map where you will very definitively win or lose. How about that? You will either be able to just completely clear through these rooms, you'll hack all the things, and you'll go on and you'll just murder the shit out of the ending captain with no resistance at all, or every single hacking event will be like fucking pulling teeth, and you'll be getting hit like 17 times while you're trying to do the hack because no one is watching your back, and people are getting downed because they can't for the fucking life of them, like, you know, not stand it where the snipers can see you down the whole last train, and they can't carry a thing without getting hit, and you end up having to be the person who carries both of the vacuum capsules all the way down the train from wherever the fuck hell they spawn and put them into the thing, and then you gotta hack the last thing, and then it just ends up with you being the only person who is like capable of paying attention to the fact that there is in fact a ledge on this train, and that the captain is going to shove you off it if you don't walk backwards. Hey dude, behind you, don't step oh, okay, three members of the team fell off, and now we all blow up and die because you're all fucking idiots. Great, thank you. That's the bad experience on this map. The good experience is just rolling over it, but I would say that in general it tends to the easy side. If you have at least one other competent team member with you, no problem. But the problem is finding competent team members who are playing Rolling Steel. Because, yeah, it's like, if your team is self-sufficient, if you can survive a horde, right? If you can, like, come up against a horde of, like, 20 enemies and not take damage to, like, 20 groaners, you're good. If 20 groaners beats the ever-living shit out of you, Rolling Steel is going to be a bad time for you. So I think, for me personally, at least half of this thing is pretty dang easy. I don't think it's the easiest map in the game. And I do appreciate that this map, and this is something I've been saying, they're never going to make another one of these operations maps. I mean, I don't want to go on record saying that or anything and eat my words or anything, but it doesn't seem like at this point they're going to make any more operations, these little short maps like this. But I thought it would have been really cool if all of the operations had these loss conditions baked into them. One thing that they should change about this map is that it should have a calculation that it can do of like, okay, you literally cannot complete the map in time, right? It should be able to be like, okay, it takes this long to hack this, plus the captain spawning animation plus the minimum amount of time to kill the captain, you don't have enough time. Train blows up automatically, right? Just to save you the fucking like torture of watching the timer as you have already failed. You can tell you've already failed at a certain point because you're too slow. I think that every other operation that I wanted them to introduce would have a mechanic like that. One thing I thought was really cool, would be really cool as an idea, is a reactor that the enemies are actively trying to sabotage and overload, and you have to keep coolant cells coming, where you have to like get them to the thing a certain amount to combat the rising heat until like the overarching like hacking thing can like kick in and turn on the cooling system. Something, there needs to always be like some sort of ending, catastrophic kill everybody sort of thing like that. But that's a digression for another day. At least half of it's pretty easy for that though. For fun levels for the train, what do we think? I mean, I think the train is a cool set piece mission. I don't think I actually really have a good time playing the train most times. It's kind of boring in some regards, but it is a cool set piece. I enjoy that it's a nice little little morsel. It's a contained experience. I don't think it rises to the level of actually having a good time in the map, but hey, it's at least a cool looking thing and it's enjoyable as a something to switch it up every now and then. Now, Comsplex. Oh boy. Okay, so this map probably takes a little bit of explaining to understand what this map is. Comsplex has you starting out at one end of the massive drawbridge, and this is not the mission where you drop the drawbridge. That's Enclave on Barros. So the drawbridge is already dropped for this one, and we have to go back the other way across the bridge. Then we go through a ton of fucking open areas. We're just going straight. We're heading straight. We finally get inside the room, and there's a situation where you have a little hack at one end of the room and a bunch of fucking gunners in this room with you, and then you have to hack and get the elevator down to you. This room, super hard. That room in particular is the cause of 90% of wipes on this map, because that room is coded to spawn gunners who will spawn at the far end from where the hack is, and then they will lock you down. So if you don't have players who can fight into gunner fire, who are capable of like bullet sliding and evading and getting rid of gunners no problem, or who are self-sufficient, then you're going to have some issues. When you have players who are not really good at dealing with those sort of threats, you're really going to struggle here. That room there alone makes it very, very difficult. From there, you do have a couple more kind of difficult rooms. I would say this one goes in couple terrible rooms. The ending event is pretty nothing, though. I've only seen like one or two instances where the ending event has gone bad, and those were both like catastrophic fuck-ups. Everyone was playing poorly when that happened. But this one definitely falls into that couple terrible rooms category, mostly for the area where all those gunners are going to spawn in while you're hacking, and then the big room after that. So once you go up that elevator, you're going to spawn into this big it shares the same tile set as Archivum Sycorax, the large open room that you go into right before those like drop down switchbacks, and that room will spawn a bunch of bosses, and it's really rip a lot of times, which sucks because you come out of that last room and a lot of times you have to bail on the gunner room because it's so full of gunners, and you'll have hurt health and you'll go up there and you'll get murdered. And yeah, so that can have a really bad room there too. And I've also seen teams lose it in like literally the last room, going up to the satellite dish. This is the one that has the satellite dish hacking at the end, by the way, if you're not quite picturing it yet. It's the one where you plant the three things and then yeah. There's a big ass satellite dish you gotta hack and it all turns green. Okay, cool. Yeah, so this is I think it's a fair rating for it. All right. Fun factor on this one. Fun factor. I think this is a map. I think this is just a map. In terms of, yeah, it's just a map. It's like the first half of this mission, I really enjoy, honestly. It's got a lot of good tile sets. The, what are they called? It's not Spirecide. What's the name of the type of, what are these called? Enclave and Barros in this one. Whatever that area is, it's a beautiful tile set to look at. The arenas are honestly not bad. Fighting on that bridge and the after and before the bridge is always a pretty cool little spot there. And yeah, Throne Side, thank you. Yeah, these Throne Side maps, I enjoy fighting on them. I think they're well laid out. I like the tile sets. I like the aesthetic. Aesthetic goes a long way for having fun in a mission, right? And yeah, I think it's that brings it up a lot. But then that second half is not that fun because you spend a long time getting torture poked by a million gunners in an elevator sequence, and then it's just gonna inundate you with bosses after the fact. This one also, I'm lowering it down in terms of the fun factor because this one also loves to have glitched spawns, because this one has a demon host summoning ritual that can occur behind a wall after you go up the elevator, and you literally almost cannot get to it in time. So I'll lower it down for that. All right, let's go on to the next one, which is Vigil Station Oblivium. Okay. I used to think this map was easy. I believe in the last time I did this tier list thing, I ranked this as pretty dang easy. As I said before, playing with other players has cured me of that opinion. This is a hard map. This is a pretty hard map. I'm going to give this couple terrible rooms. So the reasoning being, this map, it's pretty standard out the box. You are going through some rooms, yada, 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 yada. You finally get to the mid-event, which is you gotta drop the big cargo elevator down from the top. And this leads you up to that bridge. There's a big bridge that goes over a huge span that everyone gets yeeted off of by barrels. But you need to scan 5 different dudes. And this area is deadly as fuck. This area is super exposed. There's gunners and shit that can spawn all over the place. There's always pox bombers hiding some fucking where. And you got to scan these 5 things that are all spread out around the room, and then you got to press the button on the thing, and then you got to hold out while the elevator comes down, and that is your litmus test. That's the test of the whole map, is can you do this thing? Because if you can't do that, obviously if you can't do that, you can't win the map, but that's the hard part, is crossing that. And this is where teams get picked apart. Players are going to get downed here. Players are going to get separated trying to hack something and not realize how overextended they're going to get. They're going to go for the elevator too early, and then you have one more little bit of a hurdle to cross, which is when you get to the top of the elevator, that next room at the top of the bridge is always full of nasty nonsense, and it'll try to kill you through the door before the door even opens. And if you can beat that back, then you got to cross the bridge, which is going to have a boss spawn, at least one boss spawn, and then probably a demon host at the other end. Yeah, a nasty business there, but that's the whole mission, is literally just that. The mid event and the ending event are separated by I don't know, 6 minutes of gameplay if you complete them sequentially. So it's honestly not, it's pretty backloaded in terms of difficulty, but the ending event is nothing on this map. So I can't give it fuck you seriously, because the ending event is just hacking the little consoles, and almost nothing can even physically even happen during this event. I don't think I've ever seen a team lose in the ending event on Vigil Station, although I don't want to challenge the universe to that duel. So we'll give it a couple terrible rooms rating. For fun factor, I'm gonna give it okay. This is annoying. I don't particularly enjoy anything from the mid-event on. Excuse me. From the mid-event on, yeah, I'm not having a good time here. It's leading up to that, it's just the standard, I don't know, what's this tile set called, with Vigil Station and Magistrati Oubliette, whatever that one is called. That's a pretty fine tile set. It's not the prettiest to look at, but they play pretty well. And it's got some good hallways and good arenas to take your fights in. But this, Oh yeah, by the way, this one starts with a big uphill spiral climb, and that is your can you hack it in this level thing. You start the mission and you immediately have to go into this spiral area where you go inside this room and you got to go up and up and up, and then you cross a bridge at the top. And 9 times out of 10, if you're gonna die on this mission, you're gonna die in that spiral. That's the first big hurdle, and if your team can get through that, there's a good chance they can do the rest of the map. But then you really get fucking fragged out on that mid event there. Fuck the Twins boss level. I didn't include the Twins boss level in here because it's just not like a conventional level necessarily. But I would say it's a cool set piece level in terms of fun. But yeah, this is just an annoying map to play because that first area, it seems like someone always dies in that spiral thing, and there's just so many like bullshit things that can happen. Pox bombers abound. Yeah, this is for whatever reason, this map is not that big, like sightline wise, but it tends to throw a lot of like sneaky gunners and stuff at you that will like get you in weird angles. And this one also has some of the more annoying boss spawns in the entire game, where you're like, okay, I'm dealing with enough right now, and now I've got a fucking boss on me in this weird ass tiny corner where I have no cover. Thank you. So yeah, I'm gonna give that one a annoying rating there. We have Warren 619. This is the second in the Carnival series, where you need to go into the hookah den, smoke some hash with your boys for like an hour, hack a little thingamabobby. Then you leave there and you go and find the drugs and you destroy them, and then you leave. This mission, honestly, pretty easy to me, I think. The hard part is getting to the hookah den. From the start of this mission to the hookah den is kind of tricky, but the hookah den itself is nothing. Like, you're not really going to have any problems in the hookah den area. Either hookah den A or B. Like, the hookah den A is the one where you come into the room and then you have to use an explosive to blow the wall out at the end. Hookah den B is the one where there's a little hack minigame in the center. So we leave that and we go into an area where there's going to be at least one boss spawn. It's going to be, of course, it will be a burgle because you're trapped in a room that's like 10 feet wide, so it's a burgle, and it's going to spit all over you. And you'll go down one more floor, and there'll be another 2 bosses that'll spawn. And then you got to scan little thingies and break the drugs, and you have to blow up all the little glass things. You know what? Smashing all those little glass containers, that's going to raise it in terms of the fun value, because breaking those things is fun as fuck. It feels very satisfying to do. But I think that overall, pretty dang easy mission. For whatever reason, I tend to find myself like having to clutch and like save teammates on this one a lot. But I think that the reason that this mission can be very rippy is because players don't know what to expect from it. But it has a very standard set of spawns that it likes to throw at you at certain times, especially in that ending area where you have to smash the glass containers. It is going to spawn a good number of shotgunners and gunners to put in that bridge area. It is going to spawn some trappers and some bursters out of the doors. Just be paying attention for that stuff, and it'll help you a lot. And then, of course, the ending event is like, I guess the whole thing. It's like one long-ass ending event with like hacking the things and smashing the things and then smashing, and then hacking and smashing the big thing. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's pretty easy. Not too bad overall. We got to put it in... This might be a consideration for I'm actually having a good time. I'm gonna put it a little bit lower because I think there's a couple other missions that I want to pay more respect to. I want to give them the credit that they're due for being more fun than this is. Smashing the things is cool. The aesthetics of the mission, of course, it's Carnival, so Carnival Carnival. Carnival missions are always like cool aesthetic wise. And it's just that the hookah mission part takes way too long for my taste. I like the area leading up to it. I like the little like, you know, hallway and stuff like that. That all feels fun. I like the ending event. I like that it's like a long extendo ending event, but that middle event is just kind of nothing, waiting around all day for your duders to ramble so that you can blow the hole in the wall, and then waiting for that thing to hack for an hour while flame bombers throw them on your feet because you're directly in the center of the fucking room completely exposed. That sucks. But yeah, the set pieces here are pretty good, is what I'll say. Okay, and yeah, there we go. Okay, let's cue up another RimWorld soundtrack here. We got to do RimWorld Royalty. Perfect. Oh, I don't want the combat one though. Okay, cool. Alrighty, we are on to the next thing on our list, which is Consignment Yard. Let's do Consignment Yard. This map, let's see, let's think about what this map has in it. This map is... You start in like the forge area, right? It's like a forge map. I'm having trouble getting my bearings at the start. Oh yeah, okay. Alright, so this map starts out with a room that can be hella cursed. That can spawn like a lot of twins and stuff. This map was gonna frag you out really, really early if it's going to do it at all. And from there, you have some battles to get to the mid event, which is hacking 3 different things while there's like those big pieces of the Lehman Russ battle tanks coming by on the conveyor belt. And that honestly isn't all that bad, but that event takes far too long for my taste. I know this isn't the fun part of it, but that's just that's a consideration. The progress from there is... this map is overall kind of spooky. I don't know exactly what I'm nailing it down to, but it definitely... Oh yeah, it's definitely getting a couple terrible rooms, at least, because the ending event here, super open. The biggest, openest room you could conceptualize at the end of the game. It's going to kill you. It's going to kill someone, because... there's going to be gunners that are 1 quadrillion miles away. Yeah, that kills knows for a fact that the start can slam you because you had a literal cursed seed that was spawning twins every single time we would start the map and just dunk on us immediately. So yeah, you can get a start that will absolutely slam you. But if you can make it past that, it's pretty smooth sailing until the very end, where you can also lose it because you'll get picked off by stuff being overexposed, and then the res spot is also super overexposed. Getting that last section with the train going, it's a matter of herding cats. You need to get your whole team and put them inside the train. You need to put them like right next to the train, right next to those cargo boxes by the train, so that they're very much minimizing the amount of distance that the ranged enemies can set up and shoot you from, so that they come in closer and can get killed. But yeah, it has like a couple of really rippy rooms, and then a good number of rooms that are just like, we're just kind of moving through here, taking our time. For the fun factor, I think this mission is just too... It gets long in the tooth for its sections, for its events. So I'm gonna give this annoying tier. Okay, this is annoying. The ending event, far too long, takes forever. And you're just getting peppered by gunners. There's not any cool hordes or anything to fight. Then the mid-event is also far too long. You end up or if you're me, you end up standing by a wall and punching through a door for like 10 minutes while the little thingamabobby gets hacked like 8 times. And outside of that, I don't think there's a whole lot of like super redeeming rooms in this one that make it very fun to fight. Hey, Davey boy, what's up? Yeah, I don't think it's super fun to fight on many rooms in this. I think if I had to give it some kudos, the opening areas in this mission are pretty fun. Leading up to the first event, those especially with the rework they've done to the forge area, it's beautiful, And we all love going to the showers, right? The showers are cool, except for the fact it's going to spawn the twins on your ass there and murderize you in the showers. But we've all experienced being shanked in the showers before. So we can go and move on to the next one, which is Chasm Station HL1611, which is always being chirped in my ear when I'm in the Morningstar for some reason. Chasm Station is a definitive. I don't know why I'm saying definitive because I literally haven't thought of what I'm going to define this as yet. Where do I want to put this? I think Chasm Station is also couple terrible rooms. Chasm Station has oh shoot, yeah, Chasm Station has the okay, all right. Jesus, all right, so this one might even be worse than that. We've got Chasm Station with the hacking minigame that is in the middle of that circular room, and it's got like the little antenna that you're hacking at, and then you're surrounded with these big 3 pieces of metal that'll give you some defense. But yeah, you're stuck in the middle of the open hacking. There's always a pox bomb on you. But hold on, we're not even to there yet, because before that, you have hell. First of all, you start in this big open bridge, and then you drop down into the tunnels. There's like a big long tube tunnel, and that tube tunnel can fuck you. That can be a place where like the twins spawn and all sorts of stuff can spawn in there. And then you drop into the worst room in the whole level, which I don't even know how to describe this room, right? But it's like, there's like, you are on one side of this room. There's some like stairs and some levels, and then there's nothing in between you and where the valve room. Yeah, this is the one that has all the valves to spawn the skull, right? You turn all the valves. Good call. And then on the other side, that's where the game has delightfully decided to spawn about 15 to 25 gunners for you to shoot you, and you can't shoot them because you've also got 15 like crushers crawling up your ass. Bursters that are trying to jump on you through walls, trappers that are trying to get you through the slits in the stairs. The best way I found to deal with this one is just immediately drop all the way down to the floor so that you only really have to worry about like stuff from one direction. Yeah, and all the ranged elites are just like chilling on one side, all the way in the opposite side of the room. So yeah, you have to be like, you have to just kind of like take yourself all the way down to the very basement and just plant yourself there and deal with whatever you're going to deal with. Unfortunately, this is also a room that it loves to spawn bosses, including the twins in, and then you got to fight your way back uphill and get to that middle section where you got to hack the super exposed train scheduler. And from there, we have a big open area where we go across the bridge, which is the same one from Chasm Logistratum. It's this same tile set, but with a different configuration. And we go through the Catechizer outpost, and then we're into the big like open room where you can do the skip, the patented Mr. E skip that he definitely didn't steal from a speedrunner on YouTube. And that area can be quite rippy because there's a lot of open lanes where gunners can fire at you, and it can spawn some scary bosses. And yeah, we definitely had to put this in a couple terrible rooms. I'll say that the ending event is pretty easy here. This is a pretty hard mission at times, then other times it can be really easy. So I have to put it up to a couple of rooms that are making this one that much harder. For fun factor, I will give this one... man, I almost want to put this one higher because it has the skip, and I love the skip. But I'll put it... It's a map. It's a map. It's like... It's got the boss fight at the end, and the boss fight's just kind of annoying and boring because it's a huge-ass room, and it can spawn stuff. You have no idea about any of the maps in this game. Well, here now you do. Now you know what your opinions are. They're right here, obviously. So yeah, it's a map, and that's about all we need to say for it. Yeah, okay, I don't know how I'm gonna quantify it. It's like it's got no rooms where I'm like, all right, this is a cool fighting area. It's like every room is just a big open area with a bunch of gunners at the other end, and you got to fight your way to them. It doesn't it doesn't seem to be like overly hard in those regards, but it just isn't like super fun to fight into either. Yeah, and it's not very pretty either, is what I'll say. It's kind of a drab ordeal. Let's talk about Magistrati Oubliette, shall we? Magistrati Oubliette is a feels balanced map to me. Now, I used to think back in the day when Havoc wasn't a thing, I used to think this map was easy. I have reevaluated that. I think it's a balanced map. It can be very, very rip at times. This map starts you out in some sewers. You have to fight your way into some more, even bigger sewers. And then the mid-event is on a sort of suspended platform over death. And the upstairs is where the hacking minigame is that drops down the spiral staircase, the ascender, or whatever that you drop down. So that area right there is a big, big factor in making this map as hard as it is. If you can pass that, you can win this map. If you can get past that first event. But getting to that first event is an ordeal in itself because everything on that platform is shooting at you. And then when you're on the platform, it's a precarious spot, right? There's a limited amount of room to move in. There's open ledges, and there's always at least one boss spawn. The event itself, is pretty okay. You can get kind of overwhelmed by stuff spawning at the far end of the platform by the stairs, but if you know what you're doing, if you're playing far enough back, you're good. The way that you deal with this platform, if you're wondering from a like a tactical standpoint, the way that I have chosen to deal with this thing is you need to rush it. You need to get onto the platform and as quickly and as efficiently as possible, especially helpful if you have chorus or something to like cloak your approach, is to push through everything and get upstairs. Once you are upstairs, the fight becomes 10 times easier because whatever boss spawns or whatever, you do not want to be on that first floor dealing with it, because the first floor, here's the problem with the first floor, is the first floor, let's pull up Photoshop and I'll illustrate this. Okay, so the first floor is like this shape, right? Wow, that's a terrible color to do that on. What is it? Control-Alt-Shift-E? Okay, there we go. Move that to the top layer. Alright, cool. Now I can draw my own shit. Okay, so the first floor is like this shape. And here's the stairs at the end. You got to go up to get up top. Here's where you come in. So you got to go like this. And then you got to get over here and go up the top. But the problem is if you end up fighting, there's a demon host spawn right here on the bottom floor. And there's like kind of a separation. There's some stairs and stuff that are right here. So you gotta fight in this area right here, but this is death right here because all these ledges on these sides are completely open. So you can just fall straight off on those sides. So yeah, we gotta avoid fighting here. The best effective, the most effective tactic available that I have found is to quickly bum rush this side and come up here and force your way to the top. Once you go up to the top, if there's a demon host spawn down here, the game will despawn the demon host. The game will get rid of that demon host because it's like, okay, you're past him, you're not going to trigger him now. So you got rid of that, and then you don't have to worry about the other problem that fighting in this area has, which is when you're on the top floor, there's these little square holes in the floor, and for you, the player, if you jump through one of these holes when you're up top, you'll fall to your death. You'll take fall damage and you'll die. You failed the tutorial twice. Oh no. But the enemies, they spawn up top on two platforms, and then they hop through these holes, and they come down. So when you're fighting here, you have enemies dropping from the ceiling all around you, and that's what makes it so hard to fight in this area. Not to mention the fact that way over here, where you can't see anymore, where you came from, that's where the snipers and gunners will spawn as reinforcements, and they'll shoot you from like 80 miles away. So you've got like your whole flank on this side exposed, and you're dealing with maybe I can't step into a demon host, and there's a boss, and you can get ledged, and there's enemies dropping on top of you. So get the fuck past this and get upstairs as fast as possible. It seems scary because the boss spawns in and he's like rawr, but you should have like Ogren to taunt, or some grenades, or something to blow your way through the horde. And once you get upstairs, now no longer can stuff drop down on top of your head. You are now in control of the spawns and in control of the situation. Or you can even fight on the stairs. Just be very careful for knockbacks from bursters and uppercuts from plague ogres and stuff like that, because the stairs honestly are a nice funnel too. Okay, so anyway, that's going back there. So yeah, feels balanced. That's hard. The areas after that, not very hard. Ending event, super, super easy, right? Just murdering the dude. The last room before the ending event, that big area with all the, sorry, not the last room before it, but the big area with all the pews and the sort of the, I don't know what you call that. It looks like it's got a bunch of pews in it. You know what I'm fucking talking about. And then you go into the prison block from there. That first, the area with all the pews can be pretty rippy, but the area with the prison block isn't that bad generally. But yeah, this is the prison map. So yeah, this is a balanced one. Easy ending event, hard mid event, balances out. For fun factor, I think this one is fun. I like the prison block fighting sequence. I think that's always a cool, like, you know, you're blasting in a line through around this cell block. It feels like a nice little victory lap usually. We've also got this sort of uphill fight that I do enjoy. I guess, is it a courtroom? I don't know what it's called. There's another room that's a series of 3 rooms. It's a big open area, and you come down this hallway, and then there's a big gate in front of you. You know what I'm talking about. It's got like 2 turrets, like 2 bastion little like turret box, like pillboxes or whatever you call them, on top of this wall, and there's a gate open in the middle of it, and then there's a set of stairs behind it, and then there's another big portcullis, and then there's a set of stairs behind that, and then there's another big portcullis, and ascending through those 3 rooms, that's a cool fight sequence for me. That was actually my first map I ever played in Darktide, and I was playing with a friend, and I was blown away by that area, because what was happening to us was there was a sniper who was playing back, and he was like the smartest sniper I've ever encountered in this game. He was all the way back on the stairs, like way back, and so he could shoot all the way down through all 3 of these portcullises, or like the I don't know, big door openings. And then there was 2 bombers who were supporting him, and so the bombers were laying down fire in the choke points, so he couldn't push into him. And then when the fire would burn out, enemies would come in and hold us back. So it was like watching, and as we pushed them, they would fall back even further because we weren't pushing fast enough. This was back in the day when players weren't like superpowered gods. So like pushing was a lot slower, and they really like made us fight for it. It was just super cool because enemy AI in Vermintide 2 is a lot worse. You know, snipers in this game will get confused sometimes, and they'll just run right past you, and you'll just beat them to death. But every time there was like a pox bomber, or what do they call them? What are the rats that throw the gas globes? Globadiers. The Globadiers from Vermintide 2, they would literally throw like 1 globe, maybe, and then they would just try to run into your team, or they would try to run past your team and just get murdered. So these enemies, like being that smart, like blew my mind. Anyway, that's a complete sidegression. Okay, back to the first one here. I'm gonna save some good ones for last. I'm gonna go ahead and put Excise Vault into fuck you, seriously. I hate this map. If you didn't see it from the thumbnail, okay, with all this shit on it. If you didn't see it from the thumbnail, this is Excise Vault right here. This map sucks my dick. I hate this map. This is my least favorite map in the entire game for a good number of reasons. This map just blows. It is so long, first of all. It is covered in sand, so it's terrible to look at. This event is maybe... No, this event definitely is the worst event in the whole game. This event right here, with this stupid big servitor pillar, takes 10 minutes at least. You have to hack. Okay, rule of 3s, Darktide. Rule of 3s, Fat Shark. Every other hacking minigame in this game takes 3 hacks. This one, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, it takes 5. It can take either 4 or 5, and it'll pause you with like 1 millisecond from the last one, and make you do it again. And they're all over the place. They're all over the freaking world, and you are running all over this sandy ass room. There's enemies that are all gunners that are spawning in the middle, and so like what's happening is when you're fighting in this room, you've got like one hack here, one hack here, one hack here, and then the pillars in the center right here, right? What you're doing is you're doing this. You're going around to the outsides. Well, what's happening in the meantime is every fucking enemy in the world is gathering up in the center of the room right here, getting behind cover and shit. So when you finally have to get out there and leave this room, you have to fight through that shit. So this room just sucks. Sucks bad. And then we have to deal with just every other room in the world in this map. This has the sand map room problem, where every other room in this map is huge hangar bays that have planes parked in them and therefore are 10 kilometers long, and you are getting picked apart. This map also has fuck you levels of glitched with the ritual spawns. I know that I said that I wasn't going to count the ritual spawns against it, and believe me, I'm not. The ritual spawns are a confounding factor here, or a compounding factor rather. They're not confounding me at all. I already hate this map, and now I hate it even more because those rituals are glitch. They're glitchuals. They will start channeling from nowhere when you are not even near them at all, or my personal favorite, this is one of the levels where it can glitch and attach the tether to your face, and so you get flashbanged by the summoning ritual for like 10 minutes. You've all seen that happen to me on stream a couple times, or maybe it's happened to you. Yeah, and then finally we have the last event on this mission, which is as if the first event wasn't bad enough. The last event is also a great place where your team can rip, because players cannot, for the life of them, figure out where these stupid things are. Here's a fun tip for you guys. If you're playing this map, first of all, don't. But if you do end up on this map, the ending event, the doors you need to go to have big red glowing lights on them. There's 3 of them. They're red. So go to the red ones and open them up and walk through the door, phase through it, and then pick up the cell, and don't try to do your stupid jumping trick, guys. Don't do this. Don't try to be all swag with it and try to stand in a little box and throw it up top. Just walk around the slow way, or do the little slides, go around the long way, because jumping like that is going to get you beat to death. And what happens is, in this area, is players can't hold their own, and they get killed because they're off doing their own thing. They don't know where to go. They don't know where the doors are. They won't group up with you. And then the respawn point is in a really, really bad spot. It's underneath the stairs at the center of the room. So there's a spawn door directly on top of that, and on both sides. So you're completely exposed while you're doing it, and stuff like won't let you get the revive. I've seen so many games choked here, or nearly choked here, that it's despicable. I really, really hate this map, and it's ugly to look at. It's not fun to play. Let's go ahead and put it into the absolute worst tier. Ugh, is there anything else available? I wish there was a worse tier. I can't physically make any more tiers. It's not possible, guys. But yeah, this is a really unfun map to play. It's just, all the rooms are just torturous, especially the mid-event with the stupid spire. You're in there for years, and it's just not fun to play around. God. Okay, moving past that, let's talk about some maps I actually enjoy. I think the rest of these maps... Silo Cluster, no, hold on. Silo Cluster is a couple horrible rooms. Silo Cluster is a rip map. This is a... basketball. Basketball stuff. The Silo Cluster is the one where you start out, and there's a big switchback of stairs that goes down, and you die in that room. Because that first room, this entire opening section to this level wants you to fall, or wants you to trip. Remember earlier when I was talking about, I believe I was talking about Chasm Stratum, and I was saying how the floors are uneven, like no one came through here after the fact and was like, hey, you know, like it makes sense that there's like immersion in the game and stuff, but maybe we should like, run our editing tool over the floors and make them so they're kind of smooth so players aren't getting fucking stuck on every tiny piece of like debris? And they said no. No, in fact, actually go ahead and take your editing tool and put a bunch of holes in the floor at random intervals that you can fall into. And that's what this map is all about in that first section. So you have to go down that switchback, and then you're into this area that's full of garbage, and everything seems to be catching on your feet, and you can't like climb this stupid ramp on the left side of the fucking arena to get up and out of the low ass pit. Once you get out of there, then you have to go across this bridge that's made of like decaying rebar concrete that has like 17 holes in it and no edges, and you will always fall down one of these holes, always guaranteed. And finally, you are onto the elevator, the bridge into the elevator. So you cross the bridge the other way from this one, right? It's the bridge that's in the picture for this one. But you cross the bridge the other way, and you have to raise the elevator up to go down it this time. Now, this isn't half bad. Holding from this end of the elevator while you do the defense takes a long time, and it is boring, but it's not hard. Going to the bottom, you go through like kind of like a lead up to a bunch of airlock doors that you go into, and then finally the ending event, or the lead up to the ending event here, we have to go down a very long tube of enemies into the final event. And this final event, first of all, the final event arena is like stacked with enemies before you even get there, and it's all like gunners and snipers and stuff. So oftentimes I find myself like being the first map in this the first room in this map is the worst, bar none. But it oftentimes feels like you are locked out of even getting into the final arena on this one, because there's so many enemies waiting on you who are all staring at this little drop down you have to go over. I find it's just best to bite the bullet and get in there, but if your team is not like right behind you, you can get ripped pretty quick. I've also seen a lot of rips on this one because players can't. There's actually a good amount of spawns on this level, and there's a lot of different spawn points in the final event here, and you have to burst the 3 things to kill the eyes for this event, and so players aren't coordinating and getting these killed in a timely manner. If you do it in a timely manner, it's over before you know it, but it's coordinating that around I think there's no less than like 7 different places that enemies can spawn in this pretty small arena, and they're all like up high or like not campable spots, and there's a lot of exposed area in the center that you have to kind of weave around. So yeah, very, very difficult map in spots, pretty easy in others, but definitely fits into the qualification. Couple terrible rooms, specifically for that first room, is very, very difficult. I think this one it's a map tier in terms of the like aesthetic qualities of playing it. It has a boring mid-event. Ending event is exciting, I guess, even if it's a little bit ugly. This is an ugly map, I'll say, by the way. And I'm trying to think about what other like redeeming factors it has. I think it's just a map. I don't think there's anything that jumps out to me here as like, oh my god, I don't want to play this thing. Other than that first room, really makes me not want to play it. But if you can get past that first room, it's just a pretty generic experience all the way through until the very last room. Okay, let me see. What do I got left here? Okay, let's do Enclave and Barros, and then I'm gonna get onto my favorite maps in the game. Enclave and Barros is the bridge map. The lead up to it is pretty small, some big open areas. As I said before, I really like. Hey, Chibil. As I said before, I really like the aesthetics of Throneside maps. I think they're peak in this game. They look very nice. I mean, just look at this thumbnail. Beautiful, beautiful. The bridge dropping event is a challenging event. Getting those batteries from where they are to where they need to be, pretty challenging, but not bad. Like, not overly challenging. After that, you do have kind of a rip area at the end of the bridge, but I have tactics for circumventing that I think do quite well. The hard room on this map is, if you can picture it, we're going to fast forward a little bit in the map, and we cross the bridge, we go up the stairs on the right, We go into a drop down. There's a little health station right there. And then that area, then we go up some stairs at the end. And then that area right there, there's another big drop down, and this room is very open. It has a path down the center that's a low ground, and it has a path on the right and a path on the left with some like green like horse or like griffin statues or something. And then there's a health station on the left path. That room right there is really, really fucking hard. This 9 times out of 10, this is your twin spawn room, boss spawn room, lots of stuff. Excuse me. It's late for me. Lots of stuff is going to be spawning in this room. And yeah, it can be really, really scary. And then once you're past that, there's one more set of 3 stairs, and you got to cross the Bridge of Many Martyrs, I believe is what they call it in the thing or something. But that last little bit right there, right before you get to that bridge, can be really tricky too, because there's also a captain or boss spawn at that wall, and there can be a demon host there. Yeah, it's a really, really open area. Both of these areas are super open. I've lost a lot of runs in those 2 areas there. The rest of the map, honestly, not bad. So I think I have to give this one... I think I'd give this one a couple terrible rooms. Yeah, it's like there are a couple spots in this one where, through no fault of your own, it's not like any players are actively making mistakes or anything, but it's like, okay, the amount of enemy spawns and the way that the level is designed is going to make it a very, very, very hard fight. And there's no like real established strategy to countering these things as yet developed. So I'll give it a couple terrible rooms there. For fun factor, I want to give this one, there's one cool set piece. I think everyone knows what the cool set piece is here. It's the bridge, right? The dropping the bridge. I think that's very cool. I've always liked getting the batteries up there. It feels like a cool little endeavor. I like watching the bridge drop down. It feels like you actually accomplished something. I wish many more events in this game had actual physical tangible things you could see, except for this one with the fucking rising ascension thing and the trains. Fuck that, those suck. But the bridge thing is cool because there's not also enemies shooting you from the other side of the bridge that you can't reach like there is with the trains. But the bridge is cool, and the general aesthetics of the map kind of rock. And we've also got some nice little combat arenas from time to time. So yeah, I really like all the throne side maps are rocking it. And yeah, this map doesn't have any airlocks. That is correct. There's no airlocks on that map, which is a nice little touch too. Okay, let's go on to our last set here. Let's go ahead and drop Archivum Sycorax into the Archivum Sycorax, baby. Easiest map in the game. This map is super easy for a variety of factors. Firstly, we start this map. It is a quick jaunt to a airlock. You just have to get through this first area. That's the only hard area in the entire map, pretty much. You get through that first area, you get to the airlock. Immediately after the airlock, full ass heal station and a big box that usually has a bunch of fucking like juice in it. You get like some health kits and stuff too. So you are loaded up for this mid event that's going to be so scary. And you press the button and it's some flashing orange lights. So if you have epilepsy, this might be like a super difficult map for you, I imagine. But if you're anybody else, this is going to be super easy because you literally just walk through this orange, like you're just doing this simulator of the salamander, like the little thing at the subway that you put the toasted sandwiches on, and then you come out the other side and you press the button, and then you're done. That's the mid event, guys. Woohoo! And then there's another heal station at the end of it, just in case you took 7 damage while you were doing that. The only hard room in this entire one is this giant ass room. You can see the chandelier there. It's the room with all the chandeliers in the middle of it. That one will kill you sometimes. But if you can pass that room, you're good to go. You run to the end. You do the tech, and you drop all the way down to the bottom of the level. I'm just kidding. Don't do that. But you go down the little spiral thing, and you reach the ending event. And the ending event also really can't kill you. The only way people die on the ending event for this one is they don't know where to go. I don't know what to do with my hands. They don't know where to go after the event is fully hacked and stuff. So you go around and hack everything, yada yada yada. Where do you go after you started the scribing thing? Well, I'll tell you where you go, dear viewer. Right as you come into that last area with the scribe thing, there is a staircase on your right, and there's a staircase on your left that go up to a raised platform on both sides. These areas are the last area where you'll be doing your hacking minigame too. Either one of those sides is a really good place to hold out for the final thing, because it is elevated off of the floor level, and there's no line of sight for anything to shoot you as long as you're standing in the center of it. So you can just hold out up there and cover your two entrances, the two stairways, and you're good to go. Just hang out there, and then once it's time to go, hop down, go grab the thing, drop down, run to the exit. Easy peasy. Easiest map in the game. Every high level player knows it's the easiest map in the game. One of the best ways to get your Havoc 40s done. Super linear level, very small, tight rooms. You just have to be able to deal with the enemies that it's throwing at you. There's no like tricksy, like, oh my god, like this fucking level is gonna like throw me off a ledge or anything. It's unless you're next to a barrel and I explode it. But yeah, that's Archive and Cigarettes for you. I will give you there's one cool, no, it's a map. No. It's one cool set piece. The area I like for this map is it's kind of like a combination of a couple rooms. It's the big room with all the chandeliers. I like fighting in that area, and then I like the spiral staircase or whatever, I don't know what you call it, but there's like you progressively go down a bunch of stairs after that, and I like that area too. I don't really think either of the events are all that cool, but those look nice, and also this is part of Throne Side, I think, so it looks nice, so that gets extra points for it there. Alright, we got 4 maps left, and is anything going to make it into the I'm actually having a good time tier? Do I like this game? Remains to be seen. We've got Dark Communion. Dark Communion is a balanced map, I believe. We have an opening area that is very difficult. Very difficult. Big open area, lots of gunners on both sides, boss spawns, talking weird. Then we go down a little bit, and there's always a full juice for us at the bottom that we can juice up on. You gotta put the battery in the thing and juice up. And then we go into another very large open area that this map shares with one of the, what's it called? Carnival maps. We progress through this very large open area, and we enter into the sewers, where there will be a bunch of boss spawns, and the area is far too dark for no fucking reason. The mid-event locks you into a room, and you fight for a while, and then a boss comes through the door, and you beat the boss, and then you go upstairs, and then you cross the big long bridge, and then you do the ending event. Okay, so the reason this map is balanced is because it has a hard opening room, a couple of hard, very open rooms, but the mid-event is challenging but not over-challenging as long as you're on top of your shit, and the same is true of the ending event. As long as you're watching for the spawns and you're just focusing on the objective, you're all good. But it does have a difficult ending bridge sequence, and it has a difficult opening large room. But if you know the strategies to employ and you're taking your time, this is a map where you definitely want to take your time and get stuff to come to you more than going to it. It's perfectly balanced. And this map, I actually have a good time playing. I like this map a lot. I think that the mid-event on this thing is entertaining. It's got a good amount of enemies that are coming in. It doesn't generally overstay its welcome, and then you get to kill a boss, a guaranteed boss at the end. One touch that I really like is that if you kite a boss, if you have a boss who's already on you when you come into this level, or the game decides to spawn an extra boss, say you're playing on like Havoc where it can spawn one of the minor bosses, like replacing a specialist, it will trigger the game's code to say, oh, well, there's a boss in the map. That means the door needs to break. So it'll smash the door out. But then that doesn't actually progress the level, so you have to wait for the boss to like spawn in and teleport in after that. I don't know if they fixed that yet, but it was fun for a while anyway. And then the ending event is also really, really fun here. I like breaking the shields. I like that like Ogryn Taunt and Chorus and stuff can affect stuff that's inside the shields and then goaded to come out to get you, and so you can clear them ahead of time. It's also fun for like players who are playing, you know, if you're playing like Recon Lasgun, there's like one spot you can stand in where you can actually shoot all of the summoners from. You can stand like right at kind of at the entrance, and you can shoot the summoners on the left side, then move 2 feet and shoot all the summoners on the right side, and then do the same thing with the next sets. And you don't even have to move at all. As long as people are covering you, you can clear all of them by yourself. This is also a really, really beautiful map to look at aesthetically. It's power supply interruption this is maybe like the best power supply. I don't generally like power supply interruption maps, but this is maybe the best one. Starting from moment 1 with the intro, where that green vortex of whatever the fuck energy is, like you can see it coming out of the temple in the distance. Very, very cool looking. And yeah, just a solid map all the way through. This map gives me a lot of hope that like whatever maps they have coming up are going to be also very peak, because all of the recently released maps have been getting better and better and better. So yeah, this map is very cool to play, and I enjoy all of the large open like a bridge fighting section at the end. Definitely a cool but challenging map to fight through. I like that one a lot. Okay, Smelter Complex. Smelter Complex is okay. Let's play through it in our head. Okay, so we start out. We're in the low area. We kind of run through. We go on the low side. We go up. We open a big door. There's a bunch of gas bombers. We've got that boring ass mid event that's super easy. We go downstairs, we cross over that chasm that has like 5 different layers, and there's always a demon host on one of the little thin ass bridges, Jeff Bridges. Then we go and get another health station, and we go into an airlock where there's always a boss, and then there's the final hallway that's orange, and then the final event. Okay, so yeah, the mid event on this one doesn't spawn anything as compared to other events, so it's pretty dang boring. You just gotta kind of pick a spot and hold to it, and you'll be alright. There's not enough damage coming out generally to kill you as long as everyone's doing their part. I think that the hardest parts of this map are the opening area where there'll be a horde, and then the area... The area with like the forge area, like not the ending forge, but the one where it's like got those little catwalks and stuff. That can be really, really tricky just because you're super exposed, and it tends to be a good amount of hordes there and bosses and stuff. And the area right before that where you have to burst the little eye thing, you'll be there for at least 10 minutes killing bosses and stuff that are spawning through the wall. So yeah, that one I'll give a feels balanced to. I don't generally have that hard a time with this one. The ending event can be also very sink or swim. If you got players who know how to hold their own, again, who can dodge bullets and generally play it safe, you're going to be fine. If you don't, you're going to be spending a lot of time at the res spot picking them up over and over. For fun factor, I'll give it's a map. It's pretty standard. It's in the middle there. I think the mid event brings it down a lot. I don't really enjoy waiting for that little sideways elevator thing. And there's no other rooms in here where I'm like super jazzed about it. The ending event got a lot better once they reworked it. If you don't remember, how the ending event used to work is you used to go and burst all the things and then go and press the center button, and then it would take like, I don't know, like 4 minutes to warm all the way up, and that was really boring. Now you blow up all the things, then you kill... then you go around the room and you press 4 different valves, and then you press the button, and it takes like a minute from there. And that's way better, because if you can do it faster on the valves, then you can save a lot of time. And then you can fall through the hole in the middle. But you can also jump over the hole in the middle, which is really fun too. So try that next time you're playing a game of Havoc 40 and you're last one alive, guys. Jump over that hole, I dare you. Okay, and then we got 2 more maps left, guys. I will talk about Power Matrix. Power Matrix is I think this is another balanced map. So Power Matrix has a quite challenging one room in it. There's actually no. This one's gonna go couple terrible rooms. I think this one goes couple terrible rooms. Okay, so here's why. Okay, so Power Matrix starts out. You are in a shit fucking room. This room has at least a couple of boss spawns, and on the bottom there's like a couple of areas where you can get knocked off. There always seems to be a bunch of gunners, and the floor on the top is all split up. There's like these little like platforms, so you can't reach the gunners very easily, and it's narrow, and there's like places where you can fall down to the left and the right, and you're not certain whether you're going to fall off a ledge or not. There's just not very much space here is the problem. Once you pass that, you are entered into another hellacious room after the med kit. You've got a room where it's going to spawn more bosses on you, and it can be very, very grippy. It's got like a low area in the center, and then there's a long hallway, and then there's a glitched ritual spawn, a glitchual. And that glitch can run and runs, but who cares about that glitch? Because the room after that, the large forge room, this room has big, large cores of art. What am I trying to say? Carts of ore in it, and it is super open and exposed. There's like some chain link fences and stuff. You come in and you're on the low ground. Where you need to go is like 3 floors above you, and you need to get through this room immediately. You need to get through this room ASAP. So you need to hug the right wall, get across it, and get to that health station, and then get upstairs ASAP. Because what's going on when you're on that low floor is enemies are spawning in, and they're dropping on top of you because they can come off of the top parts. Oh, yeah, this one gets a little bonus point for being fun because you can phase through the door at the front, just walk straight through it. And Hadron will sometimes make a comment about how you can't walk through doors, but you can walk through doors, and I don't know why. This room is so big, it has a bunch of spawns on all corners. There's about 4 spawns on each corner, and enemies can drop down from above, and there's potentially a demon host spawn in the center of it. Get the fuck upstairs immediately, ASAP. Once you're upstairs, it gets a lot better, but the run's not over yet because we actually have the mid-event. For some reason, this mid-event feels like it's gotten a lot harder in my lifetime. This mid-event is kind of rippy. Like, there's a lot of gunners who will spawn at the very top, but the top of the room isn't a good place to hold because there's no cover. So the best place to hold is at the bottom across from the health station, and you can actually kill all the specials that spawn through the wall there. little cheese tactic for you, and then you can like peek out and kill all the gunners from there. And then of course you've got a couple of more rooms, and then a big long elevator ride pictured in the image down to the fire, the thermal cores themselves. Plug and play those cores, bada bing, bada boom, you win the game. But it does have definitely a couple terrible rooms in here that make it very, very difficult. If you don't know what you're doing, if you don't have a strategy for the final room, if you don't have a strategy for the mid-event, and a strategy for the wide open forge room that defines most of the rest of the level, it's going to be a very, very hard time. This is one of those levels where I have a lot of success with it, I feel, because I am a shot caller and I'm getting players to go where I want them to go and where I need them to go, and that helps a lot for this level. But if you're dilly-dallying on here, or you don't understand where the triggers are for like rituals and bosses and stuff, you can stumble into a world of pain very quickly on Power Matrix. However, I also want to rank this in one of the highest tiers in terms of having a good time, because this map, despite its flaws, it has some seriously fun areas. Once you're past that first room, it really starts to go off. I think this mostly comes down to this being a challenging level. It's a challenging level without being overly challenging, and the fact that I know the strategies, the fact that I can employ these strategies and defeat the game at its own bullshit because I have, played this game a lot and I know how to beat it, makes me actually have a good time on this map. And the mid-event is pretty nice. I like watching the little thing do its little loading up the course through the wall, and the ending event, and plus the lead up to the ending event. By the way, they added, once they released Clandestium Gloriana, which is down here, they added a bunch of ice like effects to the game, or like to the game's files, and they added those in on the last portion to show that, hey, we're entering into the cryogenic area. So yeah, that little area leading up to the elevator ride down is nice, and then the slamming all the cores in there, that's my favorite thing in the whole game. Literally my favorite thing is like, how fast can I load all 3 of these cores in here and press the button, and I've gotten really good at it, and it's really fun. So this is, again, it's just a me list, right? That's why subbing to Mr. E is definitely something that makes me have a good time. But I feel like, because I know this map backwards and forwards, and I've been doing it since the beta, I have a good time at it because I have expertise at it. So if you can get that expertise, maybe you'll have a good time too. And then finally, we have Clandestium Gloriana. Clandestium Gloriana is definitely a couple terrible rooms map. Very rippy, right? Everyone knows what I'm talking about. The literal first area, the ledge, the ledge to fucking death, with, like, definitively they put like twice as many barrels here as are active anywhere else in the game. And so yeah, you're just gonna get murdered by that. And if you can get past that though, and also this ledge, it plays both ways. So like, if there's a bunch of bosses and they aren't burgles, you can shove them off the ledge. But if they're burgles, you're fucked. So it's kind of like, you know, it kind of gives and it takes. Then we got the first event, which is very hard. It's very hard, but it's pretty entertaining. I like the first event. It's different than other events in the game. You got to know like where to go and what to do. And then you progress past that. There's the gondola ride, or whatever you call that little transport thing that throws you like quadrillion miles an hour across the big gap towards Clandestium Gloriana. And at the end of it, there's a hellacious room. That room at the end of the little tram ride can spawn a bunch of shit. You have one direction that you're fighting in. Thankfully, it can't spawn behind you, but it spawns a fuck ton of stuff, and it's got a big, long sight line on you. So yeah, you want to get into good positions and fight this back. Then from there, just an uphill fight, and it's really not that bad from that point on. Once you can clear that, you are all good to go, because all you got to do is just break some ice and some gears and fight your way up to the top of the level, and bada bing, bada boom, you have now cleared Clandestium Gloriana. But there are a couple of rooms. This is a very front-loaded map. The first event will wipe you because players don't know where they should be returning to when they aren't actively hacking a thing or fixing a thing. And yeah, it's just in the barrels, you know, the barrel downhill section. And this is also a good time map for me. I like the barrel section. It has caused me to laugh a lot, getting yeeted a quadrillion miles, or yeeting my teammates a quadrillion miles, or even yeeting a boss off of this is pretty fun. I also enjoy the room after the tram. I think that's a very intense one-directional fight. You are holding your ground. You have nowhere to go. You have to fight the enemies back. The areas inside of the Clandestium are pretty cool. First of all, aesthetically beautiful level. First of all, very beautiful aesthetic level, and you are progressing towards something the whole time. You can see what you're progressing towards and what you're doing. That's something that's very that they really nailed with the last couple levels. Think about this: Dark Communion and Clandestium both have fixed points in the universe and like goals that you are advancing towards. Dark Communion, it's the chapel. It's the big vortex of energy. You see that at the beginning of the level, and you're like, okay, well, that's where I'm going, right? That's definitely where I'm going to end up in this level. And Clandestium, same thing. You see the Clandestium when you're going across the tram, and you're like, okay, I'm going to that. I'm going to the top of that. And as you progress up, you can see the machinery, and you press the button and it starts some of the machinery, and you chip the ice and it starts some more, and then you do the things at the top and it starts the rest of it. And there you go. It feels like you're actually accomplishing something as the objectives, rather than just like, okay, I hacked this thing and now it's hacked. Great. It's like, okay, you need to clear the gears. You need to reprogram the thing. You need to turn on the backup generators. Those are cool, like, activities that actually seem to have an effect on what you're doing, and I really, really like that aspect of it. It doesn't hurt that all of the fighting arenas are honestly pretty engaging as well. So I have a really, really good time playing on this map. And that's the whole list, guys. I think that this is definitely fair. There's not that many maps in the game that are like really all that easy. The maps tend to skew harder. Now this is probably from a more Havoc player perspective. If you're playing on Auric or lower, everything can be pretty easy because you can just roll over it, right? But when you get to Havoc and the enemy director can pull out like extra boss spawns and captains and stuff like that, that's when you really have to start considering how difficult each of the rooms is, because a fight in any given room can last a long time, and it'll come down to the actual like terrain and room and the spawn doors themselves to decide whether or not you're gonna have a bad time. So these ones up here have very limited ways of fucking you. These ones, there's like one or two rooms that'll fuck you, but there's also equivalent numbers of rooms that are just dead and won't ever fuck with you. These ones are more fuck you rooms than not, and these ones fuck you the entire map. So that's where we're going there. And then I think I've had a good balance here. As you notice, sand map, sand map, sand map for annoying levels. They're not pretty to look at, and they've got some really bad tiles in there that are pretty toxic. Ascension Riser is far, far too long, and it has boring events in both regards, boring and annoying events. Consignment Yard has some just open, exposed areas and a very, very long event. Visual Station, very long events. But these guys up here, these are the winners for me. This is the most important thing in the game, right here. I'm having a good time playing. Forget this list, guys. Whatever is easiest. I mean, that'll tell you, this should guide you as to which one you're picking for your Havoc missions. Pick these, I would say. But for playing the game, for like what the game is actually about, it's this stuff right here, and I want to order these properly. I think this is the order. Dark Communion is the most fun map in the game. Clandestine Glorion is after that, Power Matrix, but this is, you know, maybe personal taste. But these two right here give me a lot of hope for the future, because these are the two most recently released full maps, and they are peak map design. They are definitely way better than a lot of the stuff we've had previously in the game, and so we should only expect to see better from there. All right, guys. Well, that's it for that tier list. Let me know what you think in the comments or in the chat if you're watching this live, and mystery out. Bye. Okay, and that's the end of it. That would be the end of the recording right there. Okay, pause. All right, I'm gonna run out and take the dog out real quick. I'll come back and we're gonna go over 4 gameplay clips from different players, and we'll see how they fucked up, those fools. Okay, so stick around. Be right back. Hey, while I'm gone, head on over to Mystery on YT on Twitch. I might change the name in the future, but it's linked in the description of the YouTube channel. And just follow me up over there if you could. I'd appreciate it. Let's plow to 200 followers. That would be really nice. And I'll be right back. Okay. Thanks, guys. Well met, Sockenduft. Because the music ended. Peak. Peak music. One second, guys. Let me munch this real quick.
Open to corruption.
Objective is close.
Victory inbound! He's dead! 26 is dead! Flee!
Did they just tab out? What was that? Oh no, you don't die here. You got a green stem. You got a green stem. Green stem. They're panicked. They're panicked. They're not thinking. The thinking has turned off. I was eating. Sorry. We used the green stem? Dead. Yep. Wouldn't have mattered anyway, because the ogre wouldn't have been dead yet. He can't run, he's an ogre. Alright, well. Okay, so, class, who saw the mistake there? A lot of them, just kidding. Okay, so this is an Auric Maelstrom. As far as we can tell, the modifiers are more mutants, more poxhounds, and gas. So, What went wrong? Well, we were fine here, right? Everything's good here. What starts to happen is this gas happens, and our team just clearly doesn't have the patience for it. Now, here's one really big mistake that's going on. Well, let's go ahead and address some like outside stuff first. This player, I know you're gonna watch this eventually because you submitted, so you'll see it. Turn your sensitivity down. I think your sensitivity is too high. When you're clicking and stuff, like watch. When I click my mouse shouldn't be moving when I'm clicking. Even if I spam really, really fast, it's moving like tiny, tiny, tiny mouse, right? Your mouse shouldn't be moving when you're clicking. So when I'm watching you swinging at stuff, let's see if I can find a spot where you're swinging. Pretty much everywhere else, I'm somehow not finding it. See how like you're swinging at nothing here, and your like aim is like jerking all over the place. So let's turn that sensitivity down. Like start tuning that down to where it's comfortable and you can still turn, but you're not like jerking your vision all over the place. Maybe that's just from an aesthetic standpoint, but that I definitely am seeing some oversensitivity here. The second thing I want you to do is go ahead and download Danger Zone. Now I know there's a demon host up there because I know the future. I know it's going to happen. And I can hear the demon host right now, but clearly everybody else on the team doesn't know this. If you had known this and nobody else on the team had known it, you could have pinged it for your team, but you couldn't see it through all this gas. So what ultimately spirals this event is everybody rushes here because you get stuck in the gas and you're like, well, I don't know where to go. We couldn't possibly back up and wait. That would be unheard of. I believe that's the demon host right there, right? Where is it? Oh, someone sees it. Oh yeah, it's right here. It's standing. So our player right now, they're completely within the range. The demon host range is like out here somewhere. So they're pissing this demon host off by standing here. Now, fortunately, they aren't the one that ultimately pulls it. Our veteran pulls it because they get burst into it. I think they realized it in that moment, and they ran away. But then the burster goes off. Our veteran runs straight past the demon host. Like, just directly into it, even though it's been pinged. And then gets bursted into it, and it pulls it. Okay, so. We have to play with what we've been given. What do we do from here? What can we do from this position? Well, what do we have on the team? We've got Arbitrator with Dog. And Dog Explosion. We've got Ogren with something. And we've got Veteran, who doesn't have a shout. And we've got a Psyker. So what I would do is that if I were the veteran is what I personally would do is I would back up and I would fend this thing off for 10 seconds or maybe even less, and then I would try to get it right next to the edge and shout it off the level. That's one way of dealing with it. The second way of dealing with it is just go to the ledge and jump off. Just kill yourself right then. I don't often make this advice to people on the stream, but just go end your life and just remove the demon host, because this is not a ritual demon host. It'll disappear after it claims one life. So if you just ledge yourself immediately, it'll just be like, all right, cool, peace, and get the hell out of there. So just get out of there, and you're all good. Now, the other thing that's going to happen is this. And this is why we don't rush, right? The end of this bridge always contains at least one boss spawn in my experience. And we're only going to make this worse by, instead of backing up for this fight, because things start to go bad, our player makes the call to go forward, and go forward, and go forward, and go forward. And therefore, they're going to pull more and more stuff. And you see what ultimately happens with the amount of horde we get by the end of this thing is it's just a huge, huge amount. So what would have been the correct play to do here, I think, is just to back off. You guys could handle this much stuff. You can't handle all the stuff that's coming out here. And also, there's a sniper that just shot from that side who's right here. That sniper could be getting killed. Would have been nice. I think the dog got it, thankfully. But again, you can see here our sensitivity is really, really high. We're like flailing all around. Thankfully, we're Arbites, so our toughness is just like flying upwards, and we can't be dogged. We get grabbed and thrown through a wall, so that's all good. Hey, Toxic. Welcome to the members. You are now a member. Also, maybe a lot of the jerkiness is down to the capture quality. It's like kind of crazy. We should have just had the shield out the full time here. Okay, so here's where he makes the call to go forward because he's been thrown in that direction. This is great and all, but it's not gonna work unless everyone else is dead, or the Ogryn is with you, right? And I don't think there's a whole lot of chance of either of those things happening. So we're getting through this Chaos Spawn. We should honestly just be meleeing it. We have way more melee damage than we do range damage. We do a good block here. This is when I was watching. I think he tabs out of the window. I think something, like maybe his, oh, I gotta turn this on. Maybe his cursor was not locked to the window and it got outside of the frame over here and clicked out and lost his focus for a second. Or maybe like some sort of pop-up or something happened, like right then. Fortunately, it doesn't cost him anything because he does dodge that, but I think that throws him off because from this point on, he just starts flailing. He just starts flailing. He had, like, look at this. Look at this shit right here. Not that. Look at this shit right here. He blocks this crusher overhead. Boom, easy peasy. He's on top of it, hits this crusher, kills this dog in midair, accidentally, I think. And then he continues. But yeah, he takes this hit because now he's in panic mode, and now you're really in panic mode once you take that one hit. So now he's surrounded on all sides by mutants, doesn't know what to do, and really needs to get a reset here. There you go. Okay, so there we go, the stim. Now the decision to go forward here, very questionable, right? Because, okay, what did he have just a second ago? Just a second ago, what was he fighting? Up till here. He's fighting a crusher, and he's fighting like 2 maulers and maybe 1 or 2 mutants. Bro can deal with this. Bro can kill all this stuff pretty easy. In fact, that crusher, I think, is about to die. So he's got this in the bag, and then potentially, who knows where he could go from there. But instead of fighting this out, because he wants to get away from these mutants, he runs forward, and look at what he pulls here. He pulls 2 Ragers and another Mauler, and then he gets panicked by this and runs through this. And so he pulls a Flamer and a bunch of Horde and a Trapper and the Burster, which ultimately is the Doom. So we're just pushing. When right from the beginning the decision was fall back as soon as stuff started to go bad. Now all this out here is completely fluff. This is all just panic gameplay from this point on right here. This is panic that's going on. I mean, our players have started to die, especially once this guy dies. I mean, what are you going to do from there? It should really go to show how strong Ogryn and RPDs are as compared to the rest of the cast when you see how long they lived in comparison. But right here, some big decisions need to be made when this demon host got brought in. I think the number one decision is for the veterans to take it on the chin and take the death and just clear that problem for the team, especially once the chaos spawn showed up, because the last thing you want is corrupted health and another demon host slashing everyone around. Thankfully, it does. The veteran does die pretty quick, but the quicker he'd taken this death, the more focus everyone could have had on this chaos spawn. I think the other mistake that our player makes is not getting over here, because they were here fighting this. They're trying to decide what they want to go on, and they get kind of locked into fighting the fight here instead of getting back here and getting to work with the rest of the team. Especially when there's dogs and mutants in the arena, you want to be with the team because they can clear those specialists off of you. So yeah, we get locked over here, and that's what causes the chaos spawn to turn around on us. Now he's got there we go. He used dog detonation, which is what saved him here. But imagine that instead of fighting here, we were over here. And then the dog detonation has a good chance of pushing the chaos spawn in a direction that could maybe potentially push them off the ledge, because there's a big open side of the bridge on there. That's just my thoughts. But yeah, I think that's the real mistake here is no one's paying attention. This is a demon host. No one's paying attention. No one has danger zone. So we're in threat. We're in threat of dying already. We're pushing when we should be waiting for the gas to fade, which is panicking everybody because they can't see and they want to get out of the gas, so they're just running recklessly forward. And then they're pulling a bunch of horde and a boss and all that stuff on top of the existing demon hosts. And that's me, not you guys, by the way. Okay, so that's the first one, and thank you for the submission. Okay, let's go on to our second one. I love coincidence. We fucked up. Havoc 26. Okay, let's see what we got. Relic Blade Enjoyer. Wait, not Relic Blade Enjoyer. Force Sword. It looked like Relic Blade for a second. Okay, Captain. Wait, hold on. Analysis. RBDs. No ammo, no ammo. Where's our fucking ammo? There's ammo somewhere on this platform. There's an ammo crate somewhere. The game always spawns stuff when you run out. Surviving Edge Weapons, base name. Okay. Wait, we have 2 Zealots. What's the odds we have a chorus here? Big, right? Yeah, chorus. Okay, misplay 1. But that's a niche thing. What are we doing? Get on these motherfuckers. Okay, now we're starting to do the thing we should be doing. What the fuck? Do we have health bars on for every enemy in the game? that's the regular enemies, right? Okay, my man. Dude, you are playing Flame Staff Psyker. Why do you do this to yourself? Why would you do this to yourself? You can turn those off. Those aren't even on by default. You chose to make every enemy in the game have a health bar. It's off by default, so I don't know why this is on. I guess you just really like numbers. But you can't fucking see anything now because they're... And you have the numbers and the bars on. Okay. So remember earlier what I was talking about with this... Poor level Borderlands gamer, indeed. This is the problem. As soon as your tootsies touch this part of the floor down here, boss spawn coming in on you. Now, fortunately, we've erased most of the horde because Psyker stuff. So that's good. Uh-oh. Oh, wait, this is a low difficulty, huh? He just took a hit and like it's barely hurt. Okay. Oh, okay, never mind. That was a big hit right there. RIP. What's the point of using the... What's the point of using the head pop? Just wanted to kill the bulwark? Imagine... Okay, so, I mean, this is a nitpicky thing. Okay, I think it's probably gonna go... Let's see what happens to everybody else from there. This guy has no fucking shot. Okay, this guy, yeah, that guy's hopeless. Oh, is it the only POV we're gonna get from here? Oh, they got another boss? Wait, he just canceled. Oh, he got, okay, he's got a trap, okay. I forgot that the normal view cam is first person, because I have it set at third person. That's why chainsword's bad, guys. You're not fighting your way out of a fucking paper bag with a chainsword. And we're dead. Nice. Okay. Alright, so, first of all, let's start at the beginning here. What I want you to first do is go into your settings, turn off all these fucking health bars, because this is ridiculous. Okay, this is not, I mean, you can play it like an MMO. Whatever, I mean, it's a chainsword. It's a big chainsword, but it's a chainsword. Turn off all these stupid health bars. And then, I need you to have the flame staff out like 75% more. But that's not even the first mistake that was made here. The first mistake is y'all are way like not on the same page at all, and like just over eager. I think this guy really wanted the health. No, never mind. This guy went down there first. Nobody has any ammo. So the first thing that needed to be done was everyone needed to look around this part of the map and look and see if we could get at least a little bit of ammo to start the thing off. Because having 0 ammo is going to be really bad for dealing with pretty much anything. Now that we hear that the chaos spawn is coming in and we see the captain, what we can do from here, and I don't expect these guys to know this, but there's at least one chorus in this group, and we can see it right here when the boss comes in. There's the chorus, okay? So, Gunat, you are a Havoc 40 enjoyer. You have 160 levels on Chorus Zealot, so here's my advice to you, provided you watch. Back here, over to the right here, off the side of the screen, there is a spot where there's no edge on the map. Just piss this boss off, bring him over there, knock him off the edge. Done. One chorus, easy peasy, dunk the plague organ. You saved yourself 85,000 damage you had to deal. That's going to save you a lot of fucking time, because y'all are fucked for boss damage. I'm just going to tell you that right now, because you have no Ogren and you have no ammo. So you are going to take all day to kill these bosses, and you've already got a captain to deal with, and that's bad enough. So where you don't want to fight is ultimately where everyone ends up fighting, which is right here. Because remember what we said before, there's drop-down spawns over here, like behind our character, and then the enemies are going to be running down here as well. And you can be shot from this side of the screen, where all the snipers are going to spawn. So we need to get the fuck out of this area. We could go up here and go up the top. We could do any number of things. We need to get off the bottom floor, though, because it's completely exposed to everything. Then let's start to analyze our player here. We're not spending our time. I think we're split too many ways. We're not spending our time effectively. Could these shotgunners be killed with a flame staff? I've done some testing on this, and shotgunners do in fact die to the flame staff. In fact, pretty quickly. So what we should be doing, order of operations is wrong here. First order of operations, this bubble, boom, down on the team. Save them some of their health, or down on us even. Okay? This flame staff should have been firing on everything. Just give him a little left click to get him panicking so he's not doing it. And now we're getting distracted. Right? What's going on? I know what's going on here, right? There's a dog. I want to kill the dog. I don't want the dog to pounce on me. But what's going on over here? What's going on with our team right now where they're fighting a captain and a boss? Could we potentially be helping them quite a bit? Probably. Right? So we get the dog. And we're coming back, and now there's fire. Okay, finally, we get the bubble up. Okay, so now we're doing the right thing, which is flaming this. And we put a little ping to say, hey, there's a horde, but that's not probably necessary. This is, okay, so right here, we're good. We're in a good spot right here. The problem is when we stop doing the thing we're good at, and when we start, like, trying to get fancy with it. I think it's somewhere along the way, this player wanted this class of Psyker to be more complicated than it needs to be, and wanted to like, oh, I need to weave in a headburst to get some damage done while the flame stack is checking out. Just keep shooting flame at all this stuff, and I promise you it will die. Because if you shoot it on the floor, it can get on the bulwark. It'll go through the bulwark when he swings, and if you have your staff out and you're dodging, you're gonna be all right. We can get rid of all this stuff. If all this stuff was fired up right now. Yeah, he has the health bars and poxwalkers. If all this stuff was on fire right now, it wouldn't come back to bite us in like 20 seconds when one of these poxwalkers kills us. So imagine if we just killed these poxwalkers ahead of time. Right now. What could we be doing right now? Right there, when we open up that bulwark, what about shooting him with flame staff so he gets a bunch of flame stacks and then dies? And then everything else around him dies too. Instead, we go for a head pop, and in doing the head pop, we are letting all these enemies get close to us. First of all, we have bubble, so that could be going down. But we're letting all these enemies get close to us. What about just slashing them with the melee weapon or something at this point? Or using the flame staff? I mean, I'm no Psyker expert by any stretch of the imagination, but the overcommitting to head popping this guy, and we were head popping this guy like 5-6 times. It's just not paying. He's orange, by the way, so he's taking damage reduction. He's like 20% damage reduction. So yeah, it's gonna take you all day, and ultimately it costs you your life. So instead just flame at the shit out of everything, because everybody else is fine until all this stuff comes crashing back on them. So if you dealt with that, it would have been amazing. Yeah, I mean that's the thing you do with Psyker, right? Is you just kite, run away. Everything chases you. You flame staff it down in a big group. Everyone else over here is going to die now because they're in a super exposed spot, and all that horde is going to come crashing back in. And now we've summoned a second boss as well, another weakened boss, and they're fighting in fire. This player here with the Eviscerator is not. This isn't the like juiciest Zealot gameplay I've ever seen. We needed to get ourselves the fuck out of that way earlier. RBD seems to know what he's doing, but oh right, he gets yeeted down the hole. The RBDs I think had a chance to like maybe kind of clutch that out and get some resist, but yeah, yeeted down a hole, no problem. Okay, so wow, why are these enemies so orange? So yeah, we should just be using the Flame Staff way more liberally. I think there's something that has gotten into your brain that like Psyker needs to like be flashy and using all of their abilities. No, they really just need the Flame Staff. Like if all these enemies were on fire, if you had been shooting, like right now, why is this not a Flame Staff in our hand? If we had been shooting at all these bulwarks and stuff, because there's no healing or anything here, yeah, that's true too. Yeah, Great Sword is a horde clearing weapon. Flame Staff is a horde clearing weapon. Would have been nice to have a little bit of variety there. But we could have been shooting fire all over these bulwarks and stuff while they were just dealing with other stuff. Like right there, instead of that stab. Instead of this long head pop animation, what about going 5 times with left clicks? Stagger everything up and get fire stacks on it. And kill everything else behind it too. So just be way more liberal with the Flame Staff stuff. You would have cleared up all this horde stuff, and then the 3 bosses that you had wouldn't have been that much challenge at all, because you have at least 1 chorus, you have an RBDs, you had the damage here. It would have just taken a while. So you just really need to do your role as the Psyker and keep the bubble up on cooldown and clear the horde. Okay, that's that. And then we have 2 more from Xeno. Yeah, combat knife is really good on Psyker because you have high crit and you can put bleeds on bosses with it, and that can help with your boss damage because bosses are hard. All right, we get to see Xeno. Am I in here? Nope. Problem 1: we're not using the plasma rifle. We're gonna complain that we're not Havoc 40 and we're not using the plasma rifle. It's the only way you can get Havoc 40 is using plasma rifles, you know? Everyone knows that. Okay. Do I need to skip forward a little bit? Oh, never mind. Hold on. Shit happened real fast. Holy fuck. I skipped forward like 10 seconds and everyone's dead. Okay, great. Okay, so Captain spawns in. Oh, wowie zowie. Okay, yeah, he just straight died. Well, okay, so that's on him. That's on this Zealot. How'd that Zealot get trapped? He's super overextended. He's down there, like, all the way. Damn, yeah, that sucks. He's just dead. See, Xeno also has a very high sensitivity, but he's aiming. Oh, now we're just dead. We gotta shout. Oh, that was risky. Snipe that trapper? Yeah, so there's no recovery from here because this map is fucking terrible, is what's going on. Because this map's next spawn point is like 1,800 kilometers away, and it's in the middle of a fucking nightmare of enemies. I mean, but he's actually like, he's controlling his aim is what I was trying to say by that. Like our last player had the sensitivity really, really high. I could see that their sensitivity was high, but they were jerking all over the place. I see him, like, his aim is jerking, but it's landing exactly where he wants it to be landing. He's clicking on heads. Yeah, see, I think that the situation... Oh, and he's backtracked way too far, so he gets killed by bullets. The situation, it was fucked from... What the fuck? The situation was fucked from the Zealot getting trapped. This right here was really unfortunate. You could have saved him, I believe, because he had gold toughness. I believe you could have saved him if this Plague Ogre headbutt hadn't landed. You did walk straight into it. So, if I'm criticizing Xeno here, go this way. Just go right through here and come out this little hole right here and just don't get headbutted by the Plague Ogre. Because let's count. I feel like you would have been right at the bottom of this thing, and then in the next second or two, you would have been picking him up. He has 5 seconds of invulnerability because he's Zealot, even though he does get bursted. And so you could have picked up the kill there, or the rescue there. Maybe. That's one thing. The other thing that happens here, this is a symptom that I see a lot of players doing. When you have a Zealot who's playing Chorus on your team, or a veteran who's playing Shout, which is all veterans, be considerate of them, guys. Be considerate that they like to get resets from getting backstab kills and from getting specialist kills. When a gift like this happens to you, and a charger comes past, Ogren, you don't need to help. The veterans got this. That would have cut 6 seconds off of the cooldown for the Shout, which might have made a big difference in the ensuing chaos. To have the Shout in, like, 4 seconds from now instead of 6 seconds from now. Like, look, we would have had Shout up in like 1 more second. So there's a potential that we could have even had Shout up and save some lives. And we would have gold toughness right now, so people would stop taking damage. So from here, what do you do? What do you do from here? It's gonna be difficult from here. We do have a Psyker, so there's a potential for like lots of AoE damage. I don't know what Psyker's playing. Psyker is like way the fuck out there. Is Psyker just dead? What kills him? Yeah, so Psyker doesn't stick with the group. Psyker, okay, so that's another big thing here is the Psyker would have been key to dealing with the amount of stuff that was going on here. But the Psyker, when this Shout comes out, that's your key. When that Shout goes off, right there, look how much like room is cleared right here. That's your key as Psyker to slip your fucking ass out of there and get with your team, because you can see where there's a ping. Xeno is very helpfully pinged up here. So this guy says, nah, I'm making the fucking last stand, baby. I got one wound in a dream. And he stays in the fight, and he gets himself into this corner right there. He goes in this corner right here and holds out for a long time. But it would have been really nice if he was here with our Ogren, etc. Ogren makes well, not a huge mistake. That wasn't actually his fault at all. Never mind. I was going to say Ogren makes a mistake by going in this corner. He didn't have a choice there. He had the Rumbler route, I think. And so he couldn't block the Plague Ogre that was coming in. And that got him in the corner. Now, we could have been, if we're being super critical of Xeno here, we could be more liberal with our grenade usage. We could be disrupting this huge conga line of enemies that's coming up here. Wait, where those grenades come from? Huh? Huh? Are we cheating grenades? Xeno. Are we hacking? Are we cheating? Was this just like really lucky, like killing, because what's demolition team? It's when any elite enemy dies within, but 5% gave you 3 grenades. He got a 5% chance 3 times in the same second. Look at the top list up here, okay? Look. When this happens, there should be a feed. But those are happening way after. And it's way down here that those are happening. That's outside of the range. Where are these grenades coming from? The talent can give you 3 grenades instantly? I would have expected to see it do like 1, 2, 3. It's instant. It's instant. Hold on. I gotta Google. Demolition Team Darktide. 3 grenades at once? Where's Big Dom when you need him? Big Dom would know the answer to this. This is Sussy Mogus. How would Big Man... How is... So the person... He killed 1 shotgunner, right? It doesn't... Regen. Oh, regen. Oh, hold on. Yeah, we can see his regen perk. Hold on. Where's his regen perk? Hold on. Okay. No, it's not. It's not. There's his regen perk right there. So it's not even regen. I mean, I know you can slow it, but like, we're not missing any information. It adds up multiple instances of what? Can one enemy... Does one enemy have a 5%, like, exponential chance of doing it? Do you know what I mean? Like, is there a 5% chance to give you 1 grenade and then a 5% plus another, like, 0.05 to, like a 1 in 20, and then it rolls another 1 in 20, and then it rolls another 1 in 20? Like, I don't know. Yeah, that's true, but why is it so instant? And what dies? Is what I want to know. Oh, wait, hold on. Wait a second. Okay, hold on. I might have just seen it. All right, check it right here. I think because he doesn't have this... what's this mod called? Kill Feed Improved. He should have Kill Feed Improved, first of all. All right, check this out. Look right behind this playground and stuff. Right... Oh, wait, where'd it go? Hold on. Look right behind. Look right there. Okay, look. Crusher, Bulwark, Crusher. Okay, we look away for a second. Watch our thing. Hold on, we gotta slow it down. Enhance. Okay, and okay, +3. Right? So, oops, that was the wrong button press. Okay. Looking away. Okay, and look. There's the, right here, Bulwark Shield. I have my hands reversed for some reason. Bulwark Shield, well, look at that orange glow right there. Let's see if he dies in the exact frame where this happens. Oh my god, it's completely obscured. I think maybe Big Man Rumbler killed all of them. Or something. Because look, they're gone. They're gone right there. So I think that maybe he just got absurdly lucky. And all three of those triggered 5%. That's the only thing I could think. And then, yeah, like the UI, because this is a mod that's still doing the +3. This is a mod that does the +3 thing that shows you you're getting 3, right? I believe. Because this is a modded experience because he has 42 levels. So yeah, those enemies are gone, and there was 3 elites there. So man, that's just like crazy lucky. I wouldn't believe that Xeno's cheating, but like, man, that was sus. That was sus for a minute there. That's just really, really lucky. That's what is it? 0.05 to the third. 0.000125. Also known as 1/100th of a percent or so. Pretty lucky. Pretty fucking lucky. Either that or he's cheating. Now, there's not some other modifier that I'm not thinking of that does this, is there? I'm trying to watch like anything else. Like his ammo doesn't go up or anything. I feel like if I was cheating in some grenades to just win a situation, I would throw them right away too. You know what I mean? Ah, Swift Certainty is fine. I feel like if I was like gonna press the button to give myself 3 grenades, I would just immediately throw the 3 grenades. Yeah, I don't think he's cheating. I just want to know how that happened. That's what I want to know. Okay, so, I mean, this is the last point where it was at all savable, was right there. I have seen cheats in Darktide, but a very, very long time ago, and I don't understand why anyone would. So this is the last point at which the game is savable, is right here. So when we run in here and we do the shout, I think the correct play is just a commit here, because there's no way that you are backing off from here and killing all this shit and then coming back and getting the rescue. You should be going around this guy and trying to get the pickup. That's the only thing I could think to do here, in terms of or go forward or drop down, because look where the zealot is. He's right here, so we could have run past, go down this back hallway over here, drop down, come out, go around, grab the zealot. The correct play here, somewhere in there, is to rescue an ally. You have to rescue at least one ally. There's no way you're doing this on your own, no matter how good you are, because you don't have enough space to backtrack without the bulwark thing happening. Yeah, the zealot is the first misplayer here. The getting trapped here was a pretty tremendous fuck up. As soon as this stuff spawned, you should be assessing where your allies are and regrouping with them. Everyone else is up here, Zealot should be here. Zealot wasn't there, Zealot gets trapped, and he wasn't even intending to make his way up there, and pays the price big real quick. Now, unfortunately, no one can save him, but that's the price you pay for playing Zealot, is you get cocky and you think, oh, I'm invincible, and this shit happens to you and you're dead. The second thing that happened here was Xeno made it very clear that he wanted to move up here when he pings for it. Okay. This should have been the rallying call for, I mean, look, the Ogren saw it. The Ogren saw it immediately and starts making his way there. Look at that. Ogren sees it. Psyker's facing the same direction. He sees it. and then his space is cleared for him right here, he could make it. But he chooses to not make it because, I don't know, reasons. And then it's just unfortunate from there. The Ogren was complaining that he couldn't swap weapons for some reason. He might have encountered some sort of glitch that caused him to not be able to swap weapons. He probably, here's what I'm guessing. The Ogren doesn't have weapon swap or guarantee weapon swap installed. Because what's going on is he's trying to swap a weapon, but he's trying to swap a weapon and swing too quick off the back of it, and so it's just canceling it out. Because right there, why would you shoot a grenade like at point blank, like into a shield like that? He was trying to swap to his melee and swing immediately to shoot the thing, and yeah, that's actually not a bug. That's an intended feature of the game. It's intended to like prioritize your shooting, so just in case you accidentally swapped for some reason. But it's so stupid, and they fixed that in Vermintide 2 as well, as they set the priority that way, but that's obviously not the direction the priority should be functioning in, because no one is accidentally swapping weapons. They're accidentally firing, but they're not accidentally swapping the weapon. So you can accidentally cancel your animation to swap or use your ultimate if you don't have that. So yeah, get the weapons. It's called, there's 3: guarantee ability activation, guarantee weapon swap, and guarantee special action, or something like that. And if you get all 3 of those, it just changes the priority so that when you press weapon swap, it will do the weapon swap over everything else, which is obviously the way you want it to be. And I think that's what was happening for the Ogren, because he complains about this in a second. I think another thing and this is another very minor thing, is when I'm playing veteran with these grenades, with the only grenade, save a grenade, hold 1, right? Because if we'd had 1, I mean, he doesn't know he has 3 grenades because he just got 3 grenades because baby Jesus fucking came down and gifted them to him. But if he'd had 1 instead of throwing all 3 back here. He threw actually 3 grenades here, and then regenerates a 4th. And if he'd saved 1 here, when we got here, and we saw this Ogren getting pinned in, we could have thrown the grenade right here and saved him. Yeah, you save the extra to CC things for play, right? And then the other reason we could have had 1, so he makes the same mistake again. This is why I'm mentioning this. Again, I'm using mistake in air quotes here. This is really not a mistake. This is just a slight optimization that can get you better results sometimes. If he had saved one of these 3 grenades he's about to throw here, so like right now, pause right now, save that last grenade. What could you do? In 2 seconds, you're going to have a grenade and shout. You throw the grenade, or you shout, and then you use that stagger to walk yourself on top of the Ogren. You drop the grenade at your feet, and you start the res. And then you can get that through the double stagger, because it'll stagger bosses and stuff. But he threw the last grenade there, so rip. Because he could almost get it here with that shout. He had time to get around and get to him and start on it. Or he could just gone past and get the rest. But yeah. It's Zealot's fault first, Psyker's fault for not regrouping second, and then Xena's fault third for not seeing that he needed to commit for a rescue. It's either get a rescue or lose, so there's no risk in just doing something that's going to be risky, right? No risk when it's risky. Oh, let's watch Reginald play Havoc.
That should be it. We should be operating.
I like how it's
Hello,
a movie.
Hello.
It's letterbox. It's letterbox. All right, hold on, and then we got one more, guys, and I'll send you over to Reginald to watch some more Darktide. All right, let's see. I hate Poxburst. Another classic Xeno failure. What do we got today? Not using the dueling sword. Oops. Oh, wait. Oh, that's from forever ago. Never mind. That stream's over. Is that where everyone was for the first part of the stream? Whoops. Oh, wait, how many pulses did we lose there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, we got 5 pulses, so that's good. Got him. There's a boy in his belly. Oh, you guys are killing that guy, though. Okay, we're fine. No, no, don't go off the edge. Don't go off the edge. Oh, never mind. Hold on. I was worried about him getting knocked off the edge. We already know how he's gonna die. It's bursters, right? No, Zeno. Why? They'll kill this, certainly, right? Oh, God. There it is. That was surprising. Alright, well, there's not amazing. I think Caps was appropriate for that, honestly. Do they lose from there? Wow. Guys, can we fucking focus fire this shit? Holy cow. God damn. Okay, alright, well, hold on, let's see how the last guy dies. Oh, Eaton, of course. Oh, I like look at the Dutch angle on this. Why is it so Dutch angled? What the fuck? I've never seen that before. The Dutch angle noms. Got him. Dutch angle. Alright, so, pew. Okay, so. Fighting Beasts of Nurgle, a tutorial. Okay, so first of all, let's back up a second. We are playing Chorus Zealot. You have to make a decision when you're playing Chorus Zealot. Are you truly committing to using Chorus, or do you just want to play Zealot with the charge ability, right? The Chorus ability is great and all, but it's really only good when it's up a absurd amount. Like, when it's just constantly popping off. That is why the Dueling Sword is just a better choice for Chorus Zealot. He does have Shred, fortunately, to get his crit up, but look. I think he got a crit there. He's doing okay in regeneration, but getting backstab kills is very, very important. I think personally the Pious Cutthroat is an absolutely god tier pick when you're playing Chorus, because it gives you 12 seconds of cooldown every time you get a backstab kill with a slight internal cooldown. But the chorus must never end. Right, you could have gotten the chorus back really, really quickly, even after this failed, like, stunted chorus happens here. Also, Relic Sword didn't kill that dog, so Relic Sword's useless. What I'm saying. Okay, so these guys. Oh boy. All right. So here's the thing. Beasts of Nurgle. Uh-oh, hold on. There's a Beast of Nurgle coming. I'm a beast. I'm a little beast. Oh, there he goes. Tootsie-ing away. So, Beasts of Nurgle have a really simple AI, right? If no one is puked on, they will puke until they hit somebody. And then, if that person is close enough, they will chase them to try and eat them. So you cannot be eaten unless you're puked on. A lot of people don't know this. Unless you are puked on, you can't be eaten. So when you're puked on, you need to be playing with a lot of caution. Once someone is eaten, you can get them out by hitting enough damage into the weak spot, or when the Beast of Nurgle just sort of, I don't know, has its whims to spit them out. What you don't want to do is get near the Beast of Nurgle and make him do the slam attack. This one's fine, but the body slam is the bad one. Is he gonna do? I think he does it here in a second. But yeah, the one, you know, the one I'm talking about, where the Beast of Nurgle kind of rocks up and he slaps his little footsies down and stuff. That one can hurt and kill the person in the belly. It hurts them too. So you don't want to aggravate it too much when they're inside there. You can trigger the Beast of Nurgle to do the little tail slap attack by hanging out behind him. So that's what was going on there, fortunately. So what should have been happening here is everyone should have been focusing on that Nurgle. I mean, Xeno had a perfect opportunity right here. Fully loaded bolter, weak spot. Being up here makes him do the belly flop. If he can see you, because he wasn't tail slap you when you're in front of him, because he doesn't hit. The tail slap has a hitbox that's like this fucking big, but it's back here. The body slam hits everything around him. So if you hang out up here, he'll go slam, and it'll hurt the person in front of him, and it can be a shitty experience. But we've got a bolter. It's fully loaded. We got nothing better to do. We have a minute in our chorus. If you blasted this thing right now, I'm pretty certain you would spit this ogre out, and you'd have a different fight on your hands entirely. Instead, we got hit by that. I think that spooked Xeno there. I think he got knocked up and was afraid because his toughness went to 0 that he was going to get killed, so he backed off. I think that's probably what happened there. But we've got plenty of time here where we could be getting back into position rather than killing trash. There is like a certain... There's a certain mindset you get into when you're in high havoc, especially if you've been rolling a game. Because look, they're almost at the end of this game. I think they're doing pretty well in this one, perfectly honest. I think that they're feeling confident. They've got, what, a Beast of Nurgle and a captain. That's not that hard to deal with. They can handle it. He's just taking his time. He's getting his cooldown back. He's making certain that he has everything there. He's not playing with any urgency, which is okay. But, like, look, this is not urgent. Dealing with this random-ass flamer, like, we could be going up to the boss and then turning around and dealing with the flamer. We could have... How many mags? Well, we don't have that much ammo. But we could have dumped both these mags into the Burgle at this point. Not that attack, by the way, either. That one attack, but the slam. Okay, so right here, we are now puked on. We are now puked on. We now need to be very cautious. Because the Beast of Nurgle has an absurdly long grab range. You can game him on it, but he'll try to get you. He'll try to get you if you get anywhere near him. So right here, very surprised this Beast of Nurgle is puking again. It could have gone for the grab and probably gotten him there. But we're puked on. And the unfortunate thing is, look at his puke buff. He was so close to getting that puke buck off. And look how low this Beast of Nurgle is getting. And here's the big misplay. Everyone is okay. Everyone is perfectly fine and okay. These guys are beating the captain to death. Now, focus fire would have been really nice here. Yes, and the bubble is the best way to do it. And the bubble is where you'll see that body slam front thing. Generally what you want to do is get into the bubble, and then just everyone tries to get behind him. So he does the tail slap thing, because the tail slap thing doesn't... it's pretty easily blockable. It's telegraphed too. So we could have been focus firing. These guys were in front of him. This Ogren and this RB could have been beating on the Beast of Nurgle. It would have been dead by now. Instead, they're investing their time, and watch, neither one of these things ends up getting killed, does it? So here was the fatal mistake right here. Oh, he got puked on again. So he's super fucked. He's super slow. When you get... puke has stacks, right? You see it says 3. Every time you get puked on without the former puke falling off, you gain another stack, and it lowers your movement speed. So his movement speed's like a crawl right now. However, it doesn't lower your dodge speed. So the way you get away here is you just dodge. Or you can sprint slide. And so, yeah, I don't think he understood that it was prioritizing him, because he thought it might be going for this guy, and then it's 180, because he's puked on. So as soon as he gets next to someone that is puked on, it'll eat him. So it eats him here. And suddenly everyone's prioritizing the Nurgle. But unfortunately that happens. Also, Xeno killed himself. And guess why he killed himself? Guess what he tries to do right before this Burgle hits him? Yeah, that's right. He tries to dodge, and he jumps. And that's what sends him off the edge. Because if he hadn't jumped here, I'm 90% that he would have just gone into this wall. But he jumped. And then gets launched. Like, you couldn't have done that any worse. You fucking jumped so that it, like, gives you that lift. So another victim to the jumping not being bound to the same thing as dodge thing. I don't know, because it's too hard and because it doesn't map to console controllers that well, I suppose would be my thing. But what should have been happening this entire time? I mean, look at this split, right? Like, I get that they're doing good damage to the captain, and they're feeling like they're making progress, but every time the captain refills its shields, it gets, like, what, 13,500 HP back, and it regenerates its shields 3 times. And it has 35,000 health, I want to say, underneath that. So that's 85,000 HP. This is 85,000 HP, but which one is going to be quicker to kill? The one that's just a big bag of hit points, or the one that shield gates you every 10 seconds and knocks you back and gets invulnerability? It's going to be the big bag of hit points. So if everyone had just gone to town on the Beast of Nurgle, then we wouldn't have had 2 of the players being chased around the entire time by the Beast of Nurgle, and we wouldn't have had this unfortunate event that ultimately unfolded. It's a lot of times it's about just focus fire. Just ping a fucking target and burn him down. Because this guy... This captain up here, he's a mace captain too. He's not even threatening. He's not threatening at all. It's like you could just leave him be and he'd be perfectly fine and no problem. But yeah, just burn down the. You got tons of stagger. I'm pretty certain. Sorry, I'm really tired. I'm pretty certain we see that the dog has the dog explosion, which means that you can stagger the Beast of Nurgle for a second. Grenades and other high impact abilities stagger Beast of Nurgle. We could be dumping Bolter on him. This is when we finally get the idea. We missed most of those shots, but hey, you know, it was a good effort. Yeah, that was a big mistake there. It's covering for that. I don't think he knew that the puke thing. Yeah, but those are little rules. The jump state makes you take more damage on, I think, everybody except for Zealot, or maybe Zealot. No, Zealot takes 0.5 or something. But the damage didn't matter there. What mattered there was giving that little bit of altitude that gave him enough to launch him off the ledge. Now, he might have still gone over the ledge, but there's a better chance that he wouldn't have gone as far, which could have meant that he grabbed instead of this. Because look at that, you saw there's visibly a jump. Jump! Boom. Perfect timing. I think without the jump, he goes over the edge here, or maybe grabs, and then someone could get him up pretty easily. But instead, jump right into it. I imagine that there probably are people that have experimented with burster jumps. I bet, like, burster, because explosions are compounding in this game. If you have multiple of them detonate at the same time, it'll throw you further. So you can, like, detonate, like, 4 bursters on yourself in the Psychanium, and you'll go, like, to the roof, like, to the absolute stars. So I imagine you could get into some very interesting spots. It's a matter of, you know, is there going to be some other gating mechanic for the game? Yeah. I think it's because you see the progress that you're making very visibly on the, yeah, it looks like they're getting chunked. And Burgles are annoying to fight, so, like, I can't blame him there. But look at this. How much damage has been dealt to this Burgle? 74,000 damage. How much damage has been dealt to this captain? He's taken 27... plus another, so he's taken like 54,000 damage. So one of these bosses could have been dead, and then the other one could be half dead. And guess which order it would be easier to do it in? It'd be easier to do it one at a time rather than splitting it between both. And since the Beast of Nurgle is just going to be a huge fucking problem for you no matter what you do, just get rid of this guy right away, you know? Yeah, this would definitely be my last game of the night, especially on this map. Super long map, generally. You're right at the fucking end, and that happens. And then to watch the rest of these guys throw it, too. Like, how do they even die? How does Tyragrim die? Wait, huh? Oh my god, dude. You gotta be kidding me. He doesn't. Oh my god. Guys. Can I enhance? How do I enhance? Is there like a zoom feature? Control zoom? That didn't help. That just does this. Oh wait, enhance. It's working. It's finally working. Oh wait, hold on. Okay. Magnifying glass. I don't know what the magnifying glass. Okay, look at the Ogren. Look at the Ogren. Remember, the Ogren is fighting the Ogren's fighting a captain with a mace. Did you see what happened to him? Did you see what happened to him? Or what he did to himself? Oh, let's see. I need to dodge this mace attack. Let me quickly dodge. Oops, I jumped. And now I'm dead. Great. So, yeah. Stop binding jump the same thing as your dodge key. Now, I think he got dogged maybe at the same time or something weird. Because I hear the dog noise, but he jumped. If he was dodging, he wouldn't have got hit by either of them. And he got fucking deleted instantly. Which is so silly because, like, how much time did everyone spend over there dealing with that captain? Then Xeno gets eaten by this Burgle. Everyone fucking abandons and just comes over here to deal with the Burgle and leaves the captain with like 2 HP. And then the captain dunks the Ogren. The captain would be dead now if everyone had stayed on it, probably. But instead we got 2 half-dead bosses and then everyone else just falls apart and can't clutch. How do they lose it from here? Another person gets eaten probably, right? Oh god, hold on. This is obnoxious. We're panic playing. Damn. Unfortunate. Please tell me the Burgle dies. Shoot it. Shoot it in the face. What the? Are you fucking kidding me, bro? First of all, I mean, I don't even care what happens to this RBDs, but look. How much health does that Beast of Nurgle have? And where does he decide to shoot the shotgun? Just into nothing over here. Just into some random enemies. That Burgle would be dead. And he gets eaten by it! Like, what? He didn't miss this shot. He chose not to shoot the Burgle with that shot. Look, he shoots that guy, and then he looks down here and he sees that there's a special. And he just shoots over there instead. And then we cut back and he's getting eaten. But I don't even know how he got eaten there. But like, come on. He was perfectly fine if he'd been able to kill him. There's not that much stuff over here. He had a shield. Oh my god, the Burgle has... He's still alive! Wait, hold on. You're fine. You're fine. Just don't start floating. Shove. Get your stamina. Oh my god. He's fine. He's fine. They win this, right? Nope. Okay. Rip. I love it. It cuts off immediately afterwards. What's this? Oh, okay, cool. Alright, guys. Well, yeah, that's a beautiful cutaway. Anyway, guys, I appreciate everyone for watching. That took a lot longer than I expected, but I had fun tonight. And I'll cut these up and make some videos out of them so you can catch them again if you miss Missed the early part. Thank you guys, especially everyone that donated or became a member. If you are on the way out, I mean, everyone's on the way out. I'll kick you all out. Go to the Twitch stream. It's linked in the description. Follow me on Twitch. What else? I don't know. If you want to throw me a couple bucks, you can use the Venmo in the description. That way YouTube doesn't get their greedy fucking 30% cut. My video recommendations, I don't know what the fuck this is. This has nothing to do with my recommendations. This makes sense. These make sense. What the fuck is this? I don't know what American Redact is, but this seems kind of based. Probably. This guy's based. This guy's based. This guy's based. I'm just kidding. I would never say that. Alright, guys. Have a good night. I'll see you soon. Bye. Yeah, I have Tanner subbed up. We're bros. Alright, bye.